got to give ourselves to this struggle until the end. Nothing would be more tragic than to stop at this point in Memphis.
Hold up! Hold up! He gonna get this work! You gonna get this work, nigga! Hold up!
Yeah, so shit. Was waiting for the YouTube to get started up. Yeah, so we doing something different today. This is Your God is Not Real. We're doing episode 1 of Your God is Not Real. So basically when it comes to God, God is either a myth, a gap, or you're using the title God as a label for something that we can already explain. And I'm asking you to prove me wrong. So if you don't believe in God, don't request up. I'm not taking friendlies right now. I'm not taking atheists and friendlies right now. I'm only taking people. I only want to talk to people who believe in or who think there's a God, who believe in God, who call things God. If that's not you, then I'm not talking to you. So if you're over on YouTube, the goal for the video is 50 thumbs up. So if you're watching, hit the thumbs up button. Over on TikTok, top the screen. I'm trying to. Okay, I think I fixed it. Okay. Yeah, I fixed it. Okay. So, yeah, God is not real. This is something that I think I'm able to demonstrate, or I'm able to break it down in a way where you can understand that there's no reason to believe a God is real. There's no reason to call things God. This word has a definition and a meaning, and we're gonna get to the root of it. We're gonna get to the meat and potatoes of what that is. So let me see. I seen Mm, mm, decline. I don't know you. Get down. I feel like you've been here before. Let's see what Mother Dragon talking about. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, if you just coming in, man, top the screen, share the live, do the shit. Almost in C2. All right. Yeah. So basically, I'll explain it like this while we wait for people to come up. Hold on. Well, I was about to explain it, but Asian money, are you in the request on purpose? Do you know you in the request box?
Good day, boss.
Did you request on purpose? Did you request on purpose? Like, did you? Okay, yeah. So basically, now that that person's gone, I can explain it to you. So basically, what I'm saying is that from my study and understanding of what a god is, people, I call it the three god. I don't know. I'm just throwing my little philosophical 2 cent in. I call it the three god hypothesis. I am claiming that either your god is a myth. And when I say that, I'm saying that if your God has a name, if we can put a name on it, it's made up. It's made up by the people who named it. We can trace it back to the culture. We can trace it back to the culture or the mythology that it comes from. So if a person believes in gods like Yahweh, Zeus, Allah, Marduk, Tiamat, Asclepius, Jupiter, if your God has a name, it's made up. Point blank, period. That's just the bottom line. And so we're gonna scratch that one off the list. We know those are made up using comparative religion and cultural anthropology. We can trace those gods back, and we can demonstrate that those are made up because there is no symmetry breaker between gods we call myth and fictional characters and gods that people believe in is true. I'm saying that there is no symmetry breaker between the two. So we scratch that one off. When I say gap, I am saying that people tend to use God where they lack knowledge or information or where they're ignorant. Like, well, I don't know how the universe got here, therefore God. I can't explain consciousness, therefore God. I don't know what woke me up this morning, therefore God. We know that is either you have a lack of understanding or a lack of knowledge, or humans are ignorant on that. The answer to that question. That does not mean a God is real. So putting the label or calling that gap of knowledge or information or human ignorance God, that's not what we should be doing. We should simply say either we don't know or we need to go and learn the information. But calling it God will not suffice. That does not make it a God, because God the definition of the word God, it's specific. It's exclusive. The word God is not all encompassing. You can't just call anything God. And that goes into the third one where I'm saying, is it a label? When I say that, people say God is love, God is air, God is the universe, God is consciousness, God is XYZ. I am saying that is not God. By definition, those terms we understand, and we can explain those without using the word God. If it can be explained without calling it God, it should be explained without calling it God, because calling it God, it adds more mystery to things that are already complicated. So I'm simply saying you don't have to call it God. You shouldn't call it God. It is not a God. Love is not a God. We can explain the concept of love, the emotion, what it does, how it works, how it affects us. We can explain that without ever using the word God, and we should. Calling it God, it allows people to do what I call Jesus smuggling. right? If you call God love, now God exists. But because you called God love, and because you called God love, now love, because you called love God, therefore God exists. Now everyone who believes in a cultural myth, going back to the first one, everyone who believes in a cultural myth can now piggyback off of you calling love God and insert or smuggle in their Jesus or their Christ or their prophet or their deity. Because if you say God is love and they believe in God, this topic comes from the conversation I had on the other live. Because you call love God, the other person that believes in God as well, they're talking about Jesus. You're talking about love, but because you have called love God, they get to smuggle Jesus in. Well, Jesus is God, therefore Jesus is love. Therefore, Christianity or Islam or Judaism or whatever is true. But the problem with that is love is not a God. God, and anybody who knows me or anybody who watches me, they know what a God is. God is a dead white man in the sky. Fact check me. Go to the historicity of that word, of this terminology, of what you got to ask yourself. Where does this word come from? How was it used originally? And did the definition of this word change? And if it did change, why did it change? That's what you got to ask yourself. And when we follow that timeline, we see that the Christians changed the definition of this word from meaning to invoke a plural pantheon. They switched the definition of this word to refer to just the God of the Bible or the deity Yahweh when they were spreading Christianity all throughout Europe. Because when they were as Christianity spreads, it begins to spread in places where they already believe in deity. They already have a pantheon. They already have supernatural men and women in the sky. So when you get to these places and they're already calling something else God, the Christians said, well, we're not going to force Yahweh on them. We're going to repurpose the word that they're called, the word that they use for their pantheon. We're going to repurpose it. And we're going to say, when you're talking about God, you're talking about this in the Bible. But God is Odin. God is Thor, Freya, Tyr, Loki, Heimdall. Those are gods. That creature, that created creature in the Bible, that wasn't a god until the Christians spread Christianity all throughout Europe. That's where the definition of God changed. And so, but that's the historical side. This conversation is I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible because I don't think it's hard to understand or grasp what I am saying. Like, it's actually a very simple topic. I mean, I know that when we get to talking about God and philosophy, they try to make it more complicated than it is, but it's not. It's actually, I think it's way more. Well, I'll try to make it way more simpler than they make it to be. What is your name?
My name Bretta, but you could call me Nan if I'm your goat.
You're not my goat. I don't know you.
Well, my name is Bretta. That's fine.
Do you believe in God?
I believe in Jesus Christ with my entire heart. Yes.
Is Jesus Christ a God to you?
Jesus Christ is Lord. He is the physical manifestation of our invisible God, and he revealed the image that we were created in. I just want to highlight and respond to something that you said.
Cool.
All of these people that you named.
Slow down. Why are you over talking me? Slow down. Slow down, brother. So would you call yourself a Christian or a follower of Jesus?
I would say I'm a follower of the way. Christian has some could be, it's a lot of denominations of Christianity. When you say follower of the way, you're more clearly following the doctrine of the book.
Cool. So you're talking about the God of the Bible, right?
Well, they're all gods. I wanted to highlight that they're all gods, right? God created many gods. Does your
God come out the Bible? Does the God that you worship come out of the Bible, the Torah? Yes or no?
I told you Jesus is Lord. Lord. Why are you repeating the question?
That, but
the God in the Bible is my God. The God in the Bible is my God. Let's get past the clarifying questions.
The God in the Bible has a name, right?
Yahweh.
Right.
Yahweh or Yahweh. Okay.
Right. I am claiming that if your God has a name, it is mythology. It's not real. We can trace, because your deity has a name, we can trace it back to where it comes from and who made it up and why. And I'm also claiming that there is no symmetry breaker between Yahweh and the other gods of old. So, do you know where Yahweh comes from?
It's a Hebrew name. Is the revelation of the Lord to Moses.
Do you know where this? Do you know what region on a map or what people group worship this God?
Are you gonna make a stance? Are you gonna make a stance and substantiate your claim, or are you just gonna keep asking random questions?
It's not a random question.
Just make a stance. Stop asking me questions and make a stance.
I got you. So the earliest reference,
and substantiate your claim.
Right. The earliest reference to Yahweh comes from what's known as the Solub Egyptian inscription, and it's not talking about Israel or Hebrew or the Bible or Jesus or Moses, none of that. The earliest reference to Yahweh is talking about the Shasu people. When you look up who the Shasu are desert nomadic tribes from the southern Levant in Midian. So the earliest people group that would have been worshiping what you're worshiping today are they had nothing to do with the Bible. They had nothing to do with Israel. They had nothing to do with Jesus. The Israelites were originally Canaanites, and the Israelites were originally Canaanites, and they had their own pantheon and they had their own deities. Everyone was polytheistic during the time of antiquity. Yahweh was not their deity at first, right? But they did come in contact with the Midianites or the Shasu people, and they did, as during that time, people would, they would trade and have commerce, and people would trade like mythologies, gods and shit like that. So eventually Yahweh gets absorbed into the Canaanite pantheon, and you start to see what's known in history as Yahwism. Yahwism is the distinct worship of Yahweh as not as the only God, but as like a henotheistic God, where like we understand other gods exist, but we're gonna worship Yahweh at the top. This is what the Israelites begin to do, and then what happens in it's called the Babylonian exile. During the Babylonian exile, or it's either, somebody can fact check me, but it's either during or after the Babylonian exile. These Israelites come in contact with the Persians, and they come in contact with what's known as Zoroastrianism. This is where they start to develop their concept of cosmic.
Bro,
hey, I will fucking drop you.
How long are you gonna go for?
If you do that shit again, I'm just gonna drop you. So, during the Babylonian exile, these Israelites come in contact with Zoroastrianism, and this is where their concepts of cosmic good and evil develop, and they begin to, you see the early formation of Judaism. But I said all of that to say that Yahweh begins as someone else's God that had nothing to do with Israel, and there's no symmetry breaker between Yahweh and Marduk and other gods of old. There's no symmetry breaker. Yahweh wasn't even the creator of the universe initially. That comes later. So using the study of using the discipline of history and religious anthropology, we can trace your God back and determine it's made the fuck up like all the other gods that's made up.
Yeah, first and foremost, the Canaanites and the Israelites cannot be the same thing, nor can they be confused, right? I don't know if you know what an Israelite is a descendant of one of Jacob's 12 sons, okay? And you have no, listen, bring me up a historian or a theologian that correlates Yahweh's name use in whatever you referenced to that is biblical. A historian or a theologian that correlates and then substantiate your claim. Because you made a bunch of nonsense ramble, right?
It's called the Solar.
Hold on.
Take me off your.
You just went up like 5 minutes, bro.
I know. I'm about to give you
the breath in between what I'm saying.
You asked me for something, and I'm about to give it to you. It's called the Solub Egyptian inscription.
Bro, you're on a live with the camera on. Put it up.
It's called the Soul of Egyptian inscription. You can literally look it up on your
What
phone
is
right
the
now.
name of this author? What is his credibility? Don't get nervous, bro.
Hey, stop, please relax.
I am relaxed.
I'm giving you the archaeological evidence that you can look up. It's called the Soul of Egyptian inscription. This is physical evidence of
so they carbon 14 dated this stuff to the same time, to a time period before the Bible, meaning they have the Bible's time.
The Bible wasn't written at this time yet. Remember what I was just
Sir, listen to it. They carbon 14 dated this stuff to a time period before the Bible, and if so, when was the Bible written?
If you were listening to what I said, I clearly explained to you that
Yahweh I'm asking a clarifying question. You said that this person...
I clarified all of this when I was...
they carbon 14 date this stuff?
So I clarified everything when I was giving you the explanation for why Yahweh is made up. I told you in detail that Yahweh was worshipped prior to the Israelites believing in him. He had nothing to do with Israel at first. So of course the Bible wasn't written when this Soul of Egyptian inscription to the time period that it dates to. There was no Judaism. There was no religion of Judaism yet. There was no Torah. There was no Pentateuch or none of that yet, because the God predates the religion that people are. The God Yahweh predates the religion of the Israelites. It predates Christianity. It predates all that shit. It had nothing to do with those religions at first. That is what I'm claiming. So that last guess, his God has a name. If the God has a name, you can trace it back to where it comes from. That's easy money. Those are the easiest people to deal with, because there's no reason to be agnostic about God. There's no reason to be agnostic about gods that have names. You can literally look those up and understand because it's easy to believe in a God if you only understand and look into one. You got to look into them all. What do you do when there are I was about to say millions? What do you do when there are thousands of creation stories and creator gods? What is now the symmetry breaker between them? Because according to the apologetic and the polemic, they're going to tell you, well, the difference is the God of the Bible is the supreme being, the necessary mover and all that shit. Yeah, but that's not true in the beginning of this God's worship. That ain't even true. That's not true. That is not Yahweh's description of old. That is something that gets added to Yahweh later on. So I'm simply saying, can we show some type of a symmetry breaker between a God of these people's God, your God, and all of the rest? Is there a symmetry breaker? And I'm saying no, there is not. There is none. I see you in the request, Vossy. I didn't know if we was gonna go live today, so I was like, well, I'm gonna do this until we get on. Yeah, how old are you?
Yo, hello?
How old are you?
I'm 19. 19.
What they say right here?
What? Where?
Right at the bottom. What does that say?
Yeah, I'm 22.
You're lying. Get down.
No. Monkey.
Yeah, get down. It don't even work, brother. It don't even work. You got dirt under your fingernails. Clip your fingernails and take a shower, young man. G-Cuss, how old are you?
I'm 22. Nigger.
Oh, y'all are pitiful, man. Y'all are sad. sad. What's up, boss?
Chilling, man. Of course, yeah, since you know it's early in the morning, you got kids who got nothing to do, so they're just gonna
Yeah, I
come over
know.
here and spam the N-word.
I
We know how that
I
go.
know.
Yeah. But yeah, I was trying to get up for, you know, that other dude that kept on interrupting you. You know what I mean? Because you are, I mean, we both know that you're already correct that the Israelites were just a subsection of the
Canaanites.
Canaanites. Yeah, I was gonna give him the example of like the country of Nigeria, right? In Nigeria, you have Yoruba, you have Igbo, you have the Fulani people, you have a whole bunch of group of people, right? But they're all still under the umbrella of Nigerian or Niger. Yeah, I mean, or they're under the umbrella of West African. Like that's how
Exactly.
it is with the Israelites and the Canaanites. For somehow, some way, he thought these were completely different groups of people, and they're just not. I'm not sure what he was thinking. That's why I was coming up here to tell him, but you know,
Yeah.
I guess you had to drop him, which is all good. And yeah, I agree. I blame the parents for these kids having access to this app, because this happens to us every day, every single day.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much scholarship on Israelites being Canaanites. It ain't even funny. I was just like, we're really mainly talking about the God, so I didn't really want to focus on the Israelites that much. But like, you have to understand who they were and what gods did they believe in prior to, because Judaism hasn't always existed. So so the logical question, okay, well, what were these people doing prior to Judaism? Fucking worshiping El. Israel.
Yeah, the name is really.
Yo, excuse me, I'm using a mic changer. Don't let.
Yep. Of course, it's the kids.
What is with all the kids, bro? Hey man, get down. If you're a kid, get down, please.
Yeah, I just saw that you was on early, so I was just scared. I said, okay, you probably got something to do later. You know what I mean?
No, I was on. You know, usually you would be like, "Are we on today?" And I'll be like, "Well, I'll wait." But I said, while I'm waiting, I'll just go live until you take.
That was an accident. I was going through the request. You can let me down until you.
I got you.
Hey, what's up, Black? How's it going, bro?
What's up? HD.
Yeah, yo, this is an interesting topic, man. You know, I'm sorry to hear, you know, that stuff that you was going through earlier with the dude that was trying to bully and all that stuff. But, you know, I'm a spiritual person. I'm not religious. You know, I definitely believe God exists, but I don't believe in the same way that, you know, a lot of the Christians and everybody else try to like put it in, because a lot of things been manipulated throughout the years and all that stuff. So I'm definitely happy to see you, you know, trying to look outside of the box.
Do you believe in God?
Huh?
Do you believe in God? Or I'm sorry, do you believe in any deity at all?
You know what? I know there's an existence of like a superior being, you know, like, you know, we could call him God or the universe.
No.
And those type of things. With me, I just want to know the truth. That's just basically it. So I'm gonna pass the mic back to you so I could, you know.
I like how you got up out of there. Yeah. I like how
you know what I'm saying? No, I'm just saying, like, you know, because you know, one religion say one thing, another religion say another thing. They got these religious wars. You got families breaking up because of, you know, stubborn thinking and all that stuff. So for me, always try to be open to, like, you know, really find out the truth and everything. So, you know, I was happy to come on to, like, you know, the room to, like, listen to you, you know, just trying to, like, you know, have a broad mind and, you know, just being open, and also trying to, like, you know, let other people be aware of, like, you know, there's other, you know, possibilities, and, you know, not Yahweh and all. So I definitely like that, bro. So I'm gonna pass the mic back to you, bro.
Well, because I'm even though you keep getting up out of there, I'm talking about you as well. You're on the list of people that this conversation is for, because you have to go out into the world, and you said to yourself, you care about what's true, prove it.
Yeah, let me just try to understand, HD, the God that you believe in or purport to believe in. Does it have like any will or agency? Does it interact or intervene in the universe at all?
Repeat that.
The God that you believe in, Does it have will or agency? Does it interact or intervene in the universe at all? Does it want us to do things?
I believe so.
All right.
I believe so because, you know, we all been created by, you know, God. And
All right, cool. All right, cool. No, cool. So, if you're gonna say that we were all created by this God, but you don't believe in any particular religion, then what evidence would we have to say, or which claims are you going off of? You say you don't believe in any particular religion, but you still believe that we were created. How do you reach this conclusion?
how do I reach to the conclusion? Because everything should have a creator, right?
Everything should have a creator.
Everything has an origin, right?
Everything, yeah. I'm not gonna say that everything doesn't have an origin. Things have an origin, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the origin is some sort of God that wants us to do things.
Hey, it could be possible and all that stuff. You know, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with that.
Right.
You know,
I'm just asking, how did you
listening?
Yeah, I got you. I'm just asking, how did you reach the conclusion? Like, how did you examine and reach this conclusion that everything had to have been created by or deliberately created? Because things can be created, but it doesn't mean they're deliberate. Like rain clouds, right? Rain is created from clouds, and those clouds are created from evaporation. But that's just a consequence of chemistry and physics. It's not anybody like making clouds happen. You see what I mean?
Well, there's things that's, you know, beyond our five senses, you know, sight, hear, smell, taste, and touch. So, you know, there's also like a science to it as well, too. And also when it comes to like, you know, like let's say like this, right? You know, there's things out there like frequencies, transmissions and all that stuff and signals that we can't even be able to identify with our senses. But, you know, there are devices out there, but there's certain things that's out there that we cannot even be able to like, you know, detect because we don't have that type of technology. So it's really in the open.
That's kind of a strange claim. There are things out there.
I mean, it may be a strange claim because it's not really traditional, you know, to like for people to like really talk about it or speak about it and everything. But you heard of Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Yeah, I know who Neil deGrasse Tyson is, but hold on. I'm trying to go back to your first name because that was really kind of weird what you said. You said there are things out there that we can't detect and we can't sense and we can't even interact with. So how do you know it's there?
How do I know it's there?
Yeah, because you just said it. We can't detect it and we can't empirically verify it. Like we can't see, smell, or taste or touch it with our empirical senses. But if we can detect something, that means that that's something that we can still interact with because it can be detected. But you're saying that there are things out there that we can't even detect with our modern technology. So how do you know it's there if we can't detect it?
Hey, that's why I try to leave things in the open and all that stuff. Like what I said in the beginning. All I just want to know is the truth.
No, you don't.
So do you have the answers?
No, I'm not saying that I have all the answers. What I'm saying is that how can you claim that there's something out there that we can't detect, but I just know it's there? Then how do you know it's there if you can't detect it?
Hey, that's my belief and everything. That's how I feel and all that stuff. So you're gonna continue to cross-examine me?
No, I understand that's how you feel, right? I'm not talking about how you feel. I'm talking about how did you reach the conclusion there? What did you do to feel that way? Like how did you get there? Why'd you conclude that? Because I'm
into science and everything. So usually, like when it comes to science, there's usually like an origin and everything, and there are life forms out there. So there should be life forms out there. You know.
Yeah, I got you, HD. But life forms and stuff is something that we can actually.
Hey, listen. Like I said earlier, there's life forms that's out there that we haven't even encountered yet. So,
possibly. Yeah, AG, possibly.
Are you trying to look for to be in the right, bro?
I'm not looking forward to being right. I'm asking you, how did you reach your conclusions? Because
I gave you my answer, and that was it, and everything. So you're gonna have to accept that.
No, answer that question.
I'm not trying to fight or quarrel, but it's like I'm not in the mood for like 2,000 questions, bro. I try to have a conversation. Though.
HD. Listen. No one is trying to trap you, bro. No one's trying to have a fight with you. We're just trying to ask. I'm trying to do. Hold on, HD. Hold on. Listen. This is a question. This is a process of epistemology. Basically, how are you reaching
my answer?
Oh, HD. Listen to me, bro. I'm not trying to fight you. Come on.
But you're trying to force things on me.
HD, no, I'm not. Listen to what I'm doing, HD. You just can't conclude, like, try to, come on, man. Like, I'm not trying to fight. I keep telling I'm not trying to fight you. Listen to what I'm trying to say. HD, hold on. HD, hold on. Listen to what I'm trying to say.
Bro.
HD.
I'm not trying to argue with you, bro.
HD, this is not about arguing with me. This is the problem. You keep saying,
why
HD,
was I being muted?
Stop. The reason you're being muted is because you're not understanding my process. The reason you're being muted is because you keep trying to fight. I'm not trying to fight you, bro. I keep saying this is not a process of fighting you. Just chill real quick.
Let him get down.
All right. Because what I was trying to show him, y'all. I'm sorry, go ahead.
You got it.
Yeah, what I was trying to do with him, y'all, I was trying to go through his process of epistemology. Basically, how does he know his conclusions are true? It's fine to believe things, but you have the reason to believe it, right? I was just trying to get him to examine what's the reason he believes these things. And if it's because, just because, then that may not be a good enough reason, because everything else can be a just because. I can believe I can fly just because, and I jump off a roof and I break my leg. So that's a bad way to do epistemology. That's all I was trying to point out to him. Think critically, y'all. That's all I'm saying.
Well, see, his God. Well, he told you who his God was. He said he believes in this supreme creator or whatever like that. But that's just not, because he thinks we were created. And if you ask him, why do you think we were created? Well, everything had to come from somewhere, is what he was saying. And it's like, okay, well, where did the thing come from that you believe created us? Well, it always existed. Okay, well, the universe always existed. Get down. There's no reason to call, even if you think that there is this thing that has always existed that pushed all of this into existence. That ain't even a God. The universe is not a God, because at that point we're literally talking about the fucking universe and the cosmos. That's not a God. That's not a God. Gods are men in the sky. That's what they've always been. And we're not gonna let Christians and fucking people who believe in we should not let people who believe in a man in the sky wiggle around and make this word mean something it does not mean. That's just not what that word means. The universe is not a God. I'm trying to go from the bottom to the top. I don't know who was here first. I'm sorry. I do not know who was here first.
Yeah, me neither. We just got to pick at random. There's someone in the comments saying that they want to come up, and they miss Shaquille something. So I think Shaquille Oatmeal, they have to request up though, because they've been begging to come up for all this time.
I usually just go from the bottom because I don't be knowing what order they in. So I just press the person at the bottom and then just go from there.
Yeah. The thing is, the person at the bottom, they were not before Fox. So let me just bring up Fox, because the people at the bottom are usually not the one. Like, TikTok is weird like that. It's strange. All right, Fox, how's it going?
What up, bro?
Do you believe in God?
Yeah.
What is your God's name?
God?
No, God is a title or a label.
Yeah, but it's used as a name.
So which God are we talking about then?
God of the Bible.
The God of the Bible has a name.
I mean, he can be called whatever.
No, he can't. No, stop. Okay, stop. Listen, he can't. Think about what you're saying. The God of the Bible cannot be called whatever. It has to be called his name that they called him in the Bible.
It says who?
If your name is Fox, why would I call you John?
That's not even my name. Like, it's like a username.
Okay, if that's the username you set, why would I call you John?
I didn't say that you had to call me anything.
Fox.
Okay, when we're talking about, bro, I'm listen. Hey, we're talking about.
I'm just trying to follow your logic, bro. That's it.
Yahweh is the God of the Bible, yes or no?
Sure.
We can trace back to Yahweh and see where he comes from, who worshiped him first, and where this mythology derives. That's what I'm telling you. Because he has a name. We can do this for Zeus, Asclepius, Ma'at, what's the other one? Marduk, Tiamat, the fucking what do they call the Nephilim? We can do this for any supernatural entity that has a name. We can trace it back to who made it up. Every last one of them.
Okay, I hear you, bro. Just tell me where that leaves us.
It leaves us with God's being made up.
Okay, how?
Because there is no symmetry breaker between a God that you believe is real and a God that you believe people made up. There is no symmetry breaker between them.
What do you mean?
So you believe in Yahweh. People in who is this? Is that Babylon? What group of people believe in Marduk? Is that the Babylonians?
I think so.
Marduk, creator God. Because I know, I think that's the Babylonian creation epic. Yes, in the Babylonian creation epic, Marduk created the world out of he split the I don't know if it's a he or she, but Marduk split Tiamat in half and created the world. Do you believe that?
No.
Do you believe that is made up?
Sure. Yeah, I do.
Okay. So you believe that you believe that Marduk, the story that I just mentioned, I think it's called the is it the Enuma Elish? Yeah, Enuma Elish. You believe that what the Enuma Elish is saying about the creation of the world is made up. I'm asking you, what is the symmetry breaker between Marduk creating the universe and Yahweh creating the universe? What makes Yahweh creating the universe true and Marduk creating the universe false? What's the difference?
The story?
Elaborate.
They're both stories, my guy. So saying the story is not a symmetry breaker. They're both stories.
It is a symmetry breaker.
No, it's not. They're both stories.
No, it's a total symmetry breaker. If I say Zeus created the world, well, how did he do it? He like shot a lightning bolt and it exploded and created the world or something. And I say, well, God or Yahweh created the universe and he did it because he spoke it into existence. I mean, that's two different stories, two different gods.
It's two different stories, but they're still stories. There is no symmetry breaker. What makes which story true?
That's like saying Harry Potter is Lord of the Rings.
Fox, listen.
Because they're both stories.
Fox, listen. Just hold on.
I don't think you understand. I don't think you understand what we mean when we say symmetry breaker.
We're asking which one makes which true. That's what we're asking. For example,
okay, so that's a different question. That's a different question.
Fox. Yes, it's a different question. But Bar already said this. He already said what makes the story of Yahweh true and the creation story of Marduk false. And you simply said the story.
No, he said what is the symmetry breaker?
No, he clearly said what makes the Yahweh creation story true, but the Marduk creation story false. He clearly asked you that, and you simply said the story.
I believe the story.
Get down.
The Bible.
We know you believe the story. We're asking what makes it true.
Okay, well, that's a different question. I mean, there's no way.
We was been asking you this. Holy fuck.
God, bro. Like, bro, it's not. I'm not even. I'm
so frustrated already, bro.
It's not even that deep. It's not that deep. Person to the right of voice. What? Tam? How old are you?
Emil?
You know that person?
No, I don't know. I was trying to. Yeah, Tam-Tams. You're right. My bad. Tam-Tams.
Is that Tam-Tams? I see that you follow me. Are you a friendly?
Yeah, hey, it's Tam-Tams or Tam 41.
Do you believe in God? Are you friendly?
I just had a question. I don't know if you seen my comment in the.
I didn't see it. I'm sorry.
So
I did not see it.
I just wanted to ask you one question, and I'll be open to others' answers. And it's not related to any of the conversations you had with the previous guests. It is a conversation within the religious world. So I started studying Judaism as a teenager under the guidance of my biological father. Mm-hmm. So that was a long time ago for me. Anyway, so recently on TikTok, I heard conversations, streamer saying that the Torah is not just the first 5 books of the Tanakh or the quote unquote Bible. Is that so? Am I mistaken, or is this? Do you know when this changed, or why this is now being said? My understanding is the Tanakh, the law, the teachings are the Torah, the law, the teachings, the first 5 books, the Nevi'im, the prophets, and then the Ketuvim, the writings, make up the complete Tanakh, and the Torah again is just the first 5 books. Am I missing something?
No, I don't think you are.
Okay. No, I'm gonna respond to that comment. Drefius, I didn't ask you, so I'm not gonna. Your comment means nothing to me. Thanks for answering my comment, my question, Bar. That was just all I wanted to ask.
Because I think they refer to it as the 5 books of Moses, or what is that? Yeah, because I think that is right. I think it is just the first 5, but I don't really, all this. There wasn't a full Old Testament. Like, this shit was written like the New Testament was. All of it was like over time type shit. So it's like it was like written and then compiled over time, and then you get what we have now comes like the full complete thing comes later. So I really need to look into the dating of these books and stuff like that. Like, what is the difference between the Torah, the Pentateuch, the Tanakh, the I don't know. So, but I do think you are correct when you said that the Torah is the first 5 books.
Yeah, I studied with the pale-skinned wishing to be Jews people as a teenager, and that's what the general in New York, Florida, up and down the East Coast went in the synagogues. Excuse me?
The Hebrew, you say you studied with people who
the wishing to be Jew, pale-skinned people. I studied in the synagogues with them, along with my father, and some of the others. I'm picking at them. I'm teasing them. But when I said that, but where I was going with that is that was their understanding, and that's what they went by. What I said that you said you think I'm correct, and I'm gonna drop. And this guy in your comments, Defius, is a fucking idiot. So.
Well, they're not. It's just don't read the comments.
I got you.
So what do you?
You answered my question. I'm gonna go ahead and go. That was all I needed.
Yeah. They're Jews that are white, and then there are Jews that are non-white. I'm not sure why the wishing to be Jewish thing needed to be said.
That's why I asked her what she Hebrew Israelite. I don't.
Yeah, that was completely unnecessary. There are white Jews, there are black Jews, there are Asian Jews, right? There are Hispanic Jews, right? There's French Jews, there's Ethiopian Jews. That did need to be said. And yes, the Torah is the book of the law, the 5 books of Moshe, right? And she's right, there is the Nevi'im and the Ketuvim as well. All of those make up the Tanakh. So TN, then the KH, the Torah, the Nevi'im, and the Ketuvim. So I was coming up to answer her question, but then she threw in that weird anti-Semitic rhetoric at the end.
That's why I was like, is she a black Hebrew Israelite, or like I don't know.
I don't know, but
yeah, a lot of people don't realize the way that Judaism works is both ethnicity and a religion. Now, of course, people are going to say, the original Jews were black. Yeah, the original Jews, like the movie The Prince of Egypt, which I watched last night. Incredible movie, by the way. I love The Prince of Egypt. But yeah, The Prince of Egypt kind of shows more what the ancient Egyptians and Israelites look like, because, of course, there wasn't the sun all the time. Are those people still alive today? Yeah. They're the ones who live in the West Bank and Palestine. So yeah, they're still there today. But to say that, the people who are white presenting, or just straight up they're white, to say that they're not Jewish, you gotta understand that once you convert to the religion, you are. And a lot of those people are descendants of the other people who are living there as well. Like, it's not just one broad brush stroke of how Jewish people look like. It really is a spectrum of skin colors. There are some white ones, and just like Petty said, there are some black ones. So all that still exists, y'all. Let's not go into the anti-Semitic thing.
Mm.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's just not necessary, you know, like we're already fighting an internal battle because of, you know, what is going on with Palestine. And so it's dividing Jews even more. So we definitely don't need to add to the rhetoric because us as the Black community, right, understand what it's like to have people trying to pick and divide us from the outside.
Appreciate you, Petty. Nasi, I'm not sure if you're a friendly of us or not.
Yeah, I'm a friendly. I don't believe in no deities. I more so came up with the question because I was just wondering. I wanted to ask both of y'all because how y'all feel about 5%ers? Because I was raised in a 5%er household. I ended up, you know, straying away from those ideologies myself. But I was just curious of what y'all think about that type of shit.
It's interesting because as far as I know, 5%ers are kind of pantheists, don't really believe in any set deities like how you said before, but more of the energy of the universe kind of manifests itself within us, something like that. It's an interesting one, you know what I mean? But I do see that they still have, you know, a lot of issues you know, social issues still, you know, stuff like, you know, homophobia, sexism, that still exists.
Homophobia, sexism, all that, yeah.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason why.
Well, see, do the 5%ers think that, like, what do they believe we are God, or how do they?
No, essentially that's the whole idea is that the Black man is God, the original man per se.
See, but we're not God.
Right, because God is like that's a very specific.
God is Odin.
Exactly.
Call the niggas Odin? That nigga has an eye patch and a beard, and he's balding at the top. That's not me. Like
yeah, it's just really interesting to like I guess witness people's different like definitions based on etymology or whatever, because it's like ideally like they like 5%ers be calling themselves gods, but it's like their idea of God isn't even like true to the true definition of what a god is. So it's like it'd be throwing me for a loop sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. But,
you see, like I said this yesterday, language is tied to culture. Cultures have imagery, iconography, visual. Every culture has a visual. Like there's a linguistic understanding, but there's a visual understanding of that culture as well. Like you could tell based on how a nigga dressed which culture that dress come from. Like this applies to the spirituality and the mythology as well. You can't just, well, because everybody's speaking English now, God means whatever we want it to mean. No, it don't, nigga. Those people of old, where this word come from, God is still Odin. Odin is still the All-Father in Norse pagan mythology. He's still like right now, he's still the All-Father. Like that don't disappear because niggas change the definition of their word. No, God is still Odin. Right. To this day.
I mean, I try to see both sides, like with a lot of words in terms of like, because you know, as how do I word this? As time or as people evolve like culturally, sometimes words like definitions like completely do change, and it's like sometimes I try to just discern from the fact of like even though I know what the original definition of a word is, I try to just like, you know, I don't know, keep my mouth shut when I hear other people using it because I just know that they're not using it true to the true like, definition that
the culture that made that terminology up did not change it. They didn't change it themselves. Someone else came and changed the definition of this word to spread a separate culture that demonizes the culture that made it up.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is cultural annihilation. That's inappropriate. That's culturally inappropriate to take someone's word and change the definition and then demonize their culture and then force yours onto them and then absorb like the days of the week right now. Thursday is not a day of the week. Thursday is Thor. Wednesday is not a day of the week. Wednesday is Odin's day or Woden's day. Friday is that's Freya or Frigg's day. Freya. These are not. This is culturally inappropriate. What the Christians
This is my
did.
question to you then, though. Like, do you use a different word for those days when you're trying to reference time?
I speak English and I live in a place that's been colonized by the Englishmen.
Right.
So yes, the days, of course I'm going to say today, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I speak like that, but but see, I'm able to separate. Majority of people cannot do in their brain what I am able to do with this shit. I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that the days of the week are named after Norse pagan gods, and that those gods, because every culture has a different name or different terminology for the days of the week or whatever we say. Like, this stuff is based on culture. It's exclusive. It's not all encompassing. We're not all talking about the same thing. No, everybody, because going back to what I was just saying, language is cultural. Deities are cultural. Mythologies and superstition and folklore, that is cultural. It is exclusive. It is distant, separate. It's not all the same. When we say, oh, everybody that's believing in something, they all believing in God. No, they're not, because I will ask you, what does God look like? Well, the only people,
everybody got a different definition.
But why? Why does everywhere you go, the gods look like the people or the animals of that region? Why you think that's the case? Because it was never supposed, deities, this was never supposed to be a monotheistic thing. No. That is where we went, not we, because we didn't do it. That is where the Christians went wrong. Global annihilation and domination and colonization is where we went wrong. Because now you got people on the other side of the globe worshiping that white man in the sky. God is a white man in the sky. That is what the definition of that word has always been used to refer to. The word itself is a European concept, is a European terminology. European concepts and European terminologies have European imagery to go along with it. This ain't no random shit. You can't call a black nigga in sub-Saharan Africa God. That ain't a God. That nigga is something else. they got because it's just not, we do it because we live in a world where this is the case, but it's not right. I'm just saying it's not right.
Yeah.
The Greek called it theoi or theos. I'm sorry, wait. Yeah, the Greek called it theos. The Roman, when the Latin came along, they called it deus. Theos, deus, and God were three separate things. When you look it up to now, they'll tell you they talking about the same shit. No, they're not. Because you got to ask yourself, if the Greek are calling their deities theos, what deity are they referring to? Zeus. And
I'm curious, what's the origin for the term deity, like deity itself? Like,
I don't know. I think that might be European as well. We speak in English. All this shit is European, but the problem is like prime example. What if somebody in Yoruba culture, the creator of the universe is Olodumare. That is the supreme being that controls everything. Is Olodumare. What if a nigga walked up to you and said, I believe in Olodumare. Meanwhile, but hold up. Meanwhile, they're talking about the God of the Bible, but they calling it Olodumare. You'd be like, that's not Olodumare. But he tell you, but wait a minute. In my culture, the supreme creator of the universe is Olodumare. So because I'm a Christian, but I still, subscribe to my culture, but I'm a Christian now. I'm gonna call the deity in the Bible. I'm gonna call that Ola Demare. Niggas will lose their mind because why? That is not Ola Demare. That is not what that is. So everybody understands what I'm saying if everybody understands what I'm saying when another culture misappropriates the deity in the Bible, but don't nobody understand when I'm saying the Christians did the same thing first. This is the exact same thing that the Christians did to this word. It don't even make sense to call the deity in the Bible Ola Demare. That's inappropriate because Ola Demare has what? Imagery, a understanding, a meaning. There's a concept behind that word that the Yoruba people understand because they made it up. That's exactly what I'm saying about the word God or the gods, because it's not even supposed to be a singular thing. God is plural. When they called upon the gods, it was always plural, never one, because those Norse pagans, those Germanic people, they believed in a pantheon of gods. So by calling this one creature that had nothing to do with Norse pagan practices God, you've misappropriated their supernatural, or you've misappropriated their mythology, and you have misappropriated their theology, and you have now inserted a different mythos that they did not create, and you're forcing that mythos on their language. So even though they understand the gods is older than they're called the Aesir. The gods are the Aesir family. That's what the Norse understand. But because the Christians done dominated and took over their culture, now niggas calling a god from the Middle East, I just did it there. We're calling Yahweh from the Middle East God. That don't got nothing to do with God. Nobody's gonna tell you this. Why? Because we live in a Judeo-Christian worldview colonized by Christians. The Judeo-Christian worldview has a privilege no other religious organization has. They get to misappropriate culture. They get to do this thing where they say everybody that's worshiping anything is really talking about a different understanding of the same Christian God. That's what they get to say. Nobody else gets that privilege. They get to do shit like they get to take gods and make them days of the week, and not a nigga in sight understand what happened. That's the privilege that they have. Nobody else gets to touch this word anymore. Even though this word ain't there, nobody else gets to touch it anymore. Why? Because of colonialism. Who the fuck gonna tell them they can't do it, nigga? Because even though the Christians colonized the world, because Judaism and Islam are Abrahamic religions, they win by default. Right? Because they're worshiping, everybody's worshiping the God of Abraham now. Everybody. Everywhere the Christians have put their boots on the ground, those niggas are worshiping the God of Abraham. The God of Abraham is in Yahwism, Judaism. So by association, Judaism, Jewish culture, Israelite culture gets forced on everybody that the Christians colonized by association, by default. Niggas gotta worship a God from the Middle East by default. And I'm saying no. Because the crazy part is the Jews will tell you this ain't meant for everybody. They'll tell you this is an ethnos, this is our laws exclusive to us. As fucked up and weird as the laws may be, they'll tell you this ain't for everybody. Well, why the fuck do people, why are black people who have been trafficked across the transatlantic, why do they think that they are Hebrew Israelites if this has nothing to do with them? Why do sub-Saharan Africans call themselves black Hebrew Israelites? This don't got nothing to do with them. Because even though the Christians colonized them, but they have like repurposed the ethnicities and the culture inside of the Bible to like insert themselves in. You colonized by Christians, but you take the identity of a fucking Israelite. Why do you do that? It don't even make sense. So yeah, no. And see, the way I like to put this like this, it's not a philosophical debate. Somebody's fucking wrong. Am I wrong or are they wrong? What was a god during the time of antiquity prior to the Great Migration in Europe, where you had this influx of barbaric people and Anglo-Saxons and the Norse and What was God before the Byzantine Empire dispersed? What was God? God was Odin, Thor, Freya, Loki, Tyr, Heimdall. When did the definition change? When the motherfucking Christians, the historians call it interpretatio. They call it interpretatio Christiana, where the Christians would come to your fucking territory, usurp your culture, and then insert Christianity into the shit you already understand culturally. They'll know when you talking about God, you talking about Christ, or you talking about the Father. The holidays, the days of the week, all this shit gets usurped by the Judeo-Christian worldview because of colonization. We don't talk about it because we not white. White people was colonized by Christians too.
Niggas had an origin of green being green. Niggas pulled up and said, green is not green, green is red.
You ever seen the movie Sinners?
Yeah.
The fucking vampire in the movie, he resonated with those black people because like the same shit happened to them. The disconnect and the difference is he's still white though. Even though all Europeans are not the same, like they're not the same culture, they're not the same ancestry. The white people have created whiteness. So under white supremacy, a nigga that's Italian and a nigga that's fucking German and a nigga that's fucking a Spaniard, and the Portuguese, all these niggas can get together under the banner of whiteness and fucking and spread white supremacy.
Yeah, I'm not mistaken. Them people, they was Irish, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that too. Movie. Yeah, Irish, right? That too. Them too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Irish, the Italian, the Spaniard, the Portuguese, the German, all them niggas really can cosplay whiteness all they want, and ain't nobody gonna say you're not white, you're really Portuguese. We do that. We be like, I'm not black, I'm fucking OJ. I'm not black, I'm Caribbean. I'm not black, I'm fucking Ethiopian.
Black or Dominican poppy, shit like that.
Them niggas, yeah, we do that because we do that because we don't want to be on what we think is the losing team. I'm not gonna call myself black because black people have been fucking conquered and colonized and subjugated. So I don't want to associate with the word black or blackness. I'm gonna say I'm a FBA. I'm a fucking native. I'm a pretendian. That we do that because of the trauma, the post-traumatic slave syndrome. We have to cope with being fucking colonized, and we have this identity crisis. White folks don't got to do that. Right. The Portuguese dominated the slave trade. The Spaniards dominated the slave trade. Great Britain got her hands on it. Them niggas cool. Any part of Europe can be proud because them niggas dominated. All the spice trade, all that shit, they dominated that shit. So they can be proud of being white. You know, I'm a real white man in America. They can be proud of that. And so under the banner of whiteness, they unite. And they got calling a god from the Levant God. We're calling a created creature from the Levant God. God ain't even fucking from the Levant. That nigga's from the middle of Europe. But there go my plane. I rest my case.
I appreciate it. I think Breacher was up next.
Yeah.
So yeah. Appreciate you though.
Yeah. Breacher, how old are you?
What's going on? I'm 36.
Do you believe in God?
I do.
What's your God's name?
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ, Jehovah.
And are you familiar with God the Father?
Yeah, I just said his name, yeah.
Yeah, God the Father is Yahweh.
Okay.
Jesus and Yahweh are not the same creature. Initially, I'll say initially they're not. They're in the beginning of this worship of this deity. They're not the same thing.
How have you determined that?
Yeah, they have a term for it. It's called Yahwism. Yahwism was the distinct worship of just Yahweh over the other God. It was like henotheism, where like we understand other gods exist, but we're gonna worship Yahweh exclusively. That's what the Israelites began to do. But even then, there was no Jesus. There was no fucking none of that. All that comes later. The worship of Yahweh predates Judaism, Christianity, Islam. It predates all of that.
Yeah, so if you're referring to, for instance, the Old Testament where the Israelites worship Yahweh because he revealed himself as Yahweh, but in an attempt to redeem mankind, covered in the flesh, he gave the name in which we could be saved by Jesus. Yeah, they're the same person in my view.
Yeah, Yahweh, but Yahweh is made up. Yahweh is the same as other.
How have you determined that?
Yes, because I use what's called comparative religion or comparative like anthropology, where you basically you're examining cultures of old, and you're looking at their gods, their god beliefs, their deities, their spiritual systems, their mythologies, their folklore, and you're trying to determine what is the difference between fictional characters and mythology used and made up by a culture versus what is actually a real deity or a real god in the sky. We're trying to figure out what is the symmetry breaker between the two. Do you have anything for me?
Yeah, I do. Did you say something about mythology?
Mm-hmm.
Like Zeus and all them?
Yeah, because you don't believe Zeus is real, right? Come on.
I do not.
You don't believe Marduk split you don't believe Marduk split the watery chaos Tiamat in half and created the universe. You don't believe that, right?
Yeah, I told you what I believe, bro. I believe in.
I'm being facetious. You don't believe in that stuff, and that stuff has been deemed mythology. I'm asking you, what are you using to deem those things mythology? And then the fucking Bible story where they talking about this nigga spoke and poof. What is the symmetry breaker? What makes one of those stories fake and fictional and the other one true?
Wow, this is just painfully easy. Yeah. So the mythology, like Zeus, for example, you look at the nature of Zeus and the nature of the God that I believe in. Zeus is contingent. He was born. He has limitations, right? Whereas the God I believe in is necessary. He's contingent. Things depend on him, right? He's uncreated, so on and so forth. So those are just many symmetry breakers I could give to you off the back.
The problem. Hold on. Hey, Vossa, your mic is I don't know. I think you might have connected to the Bluetooth or something. So Yahweh wasn't even. Yahweh is just as contingent as the other deities. He wasn't even the creator of the universe at first. That comes later. So when we look at Yahweh's progression in history, we see him start off as just a random ass god in the Levant. Then he gets an upgrade to he's inside of the Canaanite pantheon. Then he gets an upgrade to, okay, people are starting to branch off culturally and worship him exclusively. Then he gets another upgrade where, okay, we've been exiled. We've come in contact with another religion called Zoroastrianism. We're going to syncretize and absorb from them what we can, and now we're going to create this new religion of Judaism. That is Yahweh's progression in history. That's not a universal creator that is necessary. That is a mythological character, a cultural tribal myth that advances and evolves as time goes on, as new information gets found out. That's not something that is objectively true. That is something that is fucking syncretized, a melting pot of mythologies, if you will. You believe in the devil, right? I'm gonna give you an example. You believe in the devil, right?
Yeah.
What is the devil's name?
Well, the Bible describes him as Lucifer.
Lucifer was not the devil's name until the Latin Vulgate in the fucking 5th century. Prior to the Latin Vulgate, there was no Lucifer. When we study history, we see that y'all are calling this thing a name when actually Lucifer was a real person. What's the guy's name? Saint Jerome. He had a polemic. Polemic means argument. He had a polemic or a conflict with a real person named Lucifer. And he done put that nigga name in the Latin Vulgate as the devil. So when you're talking about Lucifer, you talking about this all red nigga in the bottom of the planet where fire at. That's who you talking about. You talking about the nigga with the horns. That nigga talking about a nigga named Lucifer was a real person. Saint Jerome has a conflict with a real man named Lucifer. Look it up. That's who that is. But this didn't exist prior to the Latin Vulgate. But we'll never find that out if we just read the Bible. You got to understand history. But I use that as an example of something that evolves and changes over time. There is no devil in Yahwism. Why is there no devil in Yahwism? Because Yahwism is just the worship of Yahweh exclusively. When do you start to see the demons and the devils come in? After the Babylonian exile, when those Israelites came in contact with what's known as Zoroastrianism. That is where their cosmic good versus cosmic evil begins to form and evolve. That's not a universal objective truth. That is fiction and mythology that gets upgraded as time goes on.
I have a symmetry breaker question for you, because you're very vocal in what you believe, right? And
I have no beliefs on mythology. I simply examine the history and the anthropology of them. But go ahead and ask the symmetry breaker.
You believe God don't exist, don't you?
I know gods don't exist.
Awesome. And you know that by all this history stuff you're spewing, correct?
Correct.
Awesome. So there has been smarter men than you. So here's my question as it pertains to symmetry breaker, right? How have you authenticated this information for you to conclude exclusively that God don't exist, for you to know, and the smarter men than you who have dedicated their life to study gods, myths, and stuff can't say for certain? Well, here you are on a Sunday morning, beautiful day, by the way, the sun is out. You're telling me that you know that God don't exist. What's the symmetry breaker with the information that you have, right, versus these men who's much smarter than you are?
Pay.
I'm sorry?
Pay. P-A-Y.
P-A-Y?
P-A-Y is the symmetry breaker between me and them.
Oh, so men who's dedicated their life to theism and gods and stuff, you mean they're being paid to say that they can't say for sure, with absolute certainty, that God doesn't exist, like you are saying here on this Sunday morning?
No, I'm simply saying the enterprise of theism and God and religion, nigga, this is a profitable industry. People go to seminary and learn that this shit is made up, and they still fucking come out and open a church and make money. Smarter men than me, a person can be more educated than me, and there's still information that they don't know. I can tell you all there. I know all about. I have a black belt in judo. I can tell you all about fucking judo and the throws and how you supposed to grip fight. I can tell you all about that. I don't know shit about fucking canoeing and snowboarding. So a person can be smarter than me in fucking, they can know like the scientific understanding of how the universe and the planets were formed or whatever. They can understand how the planets were formed. That don't mean that they understand the anthropology of religion and gods. I haven't met a single person who has purported what I've said. I've said things I ain't never heard other people say. Somebody got to be the first nigga in history to do it. There you go. Prior to the Great Migration in Europe, God was Odin. That is not my. I don't have no opinion on God. When you say, how do I know for a fact God is made up? What was a God prior to the Christians getting their hands on the word? God was Odin. We know for a fact Odin is a mythological creature. When did you have to look up what's called philosophical monotheism? This is where the definition of this word changed into something you get to defend now. You can't defend Odin. You can't even defend Yahweh. But you can defend a necessary unmoved mover that is metaphysical, that exists outside of time, space, and matter.
So let me ask you a question.
Hold up. Listen to what I just said. You cannot defend Odin or Yahweh or Thor or Zeus or none of that. You cannot defend Osiris and Isis and Horus. You can't defend those. You cannot defend those. Those have statues and faces and iconography, but you can defend the metaphysical unmoved mover that is a necessary being that sustains the universe that exists outside of time, space, and matter. You can defend that. Why? Because that is the philosophical monotheistic definition of what a God is. Is that culturally appropriate? No. Why is it not culturally appropriate? Because languages are tied to cultures and words have meanings inside of those cultures. And you cannot come and take someone's language and culture and then just make it mean what you want it to mean without their permission. That's not right.
Yeah, so I hear what you're saying. And I personally, respectfully, I can go in a long monologue and spew my psychological state on what I believe. What I'm asking you is, how have you authenticated this information to be true? So, for example, the information with Lucifer, right? How have you exclusively determined, no biases, no personal opinion, no one's culture, or whatever that they believe psychologically wasn't imputed in those ancient time in writing down information? How have you authenticated that?
Yes, because Saint Jerome wrote the Latin Vulgate. So you have to understand, I'm not just studying history and I'm just making it up. People wrote things down. People created imagery. People built statues and altars, and they kept records of what they was doing. We have people who worship deities that created imagery of those deities. We have people who've created statues. There are busts of in these museums. These ain't just random statues that niggas building and making up. These people have collected busts of these deities.
Okay, that's
you understand. So there is not only is there physical evidence of the shit that I'm saying, but there is literally people writing about it all over. If I bring up something like, if I bring up the Council of Chalcedon, do you think I right now do you think I made up the Council of Chalcedon?
No, I wouldn't think that you make it up, but I would say.
Do you know what the Council of Chalcedon is?
Not entirely, no.
Okay, at this moment, once we get off the live, how are you going to go and what are you going to do to go and figure out what the Council of Chalcedon is about? What are you going to do?
I mean, yeah, that's an easy task. I can read up about it, but that's inconsequential to what I'm trying.
Read up about it from where? From who?
Yeah, so I would do a resource. I would do a search, use a search database, and get the right information, and read up on it. But again, inconsequential.
Right there. You. So the answer to that is the answer to what you're asking me. That's the same thing I've done.
Okay. So this is again, and now we're moving to something else. But I'm going to be real, both on the theist side and non-theist side, atheist side. I think it's highly unlikely for any information from ancient time to pass from generation to whether about God existing or God not existing.
Hey, Vossi, yo, I don't know what you're connected to, Vossi, but your mic is it's distorted. So when you come off mute and speak, it sounds like you're speaking into a fucking vacuum, nigga.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's way better. I don't know what the fuck you was doing.
Yeah, it was on my charge. My charge was messing up. But let him
get it. Yeah, let him get it out, and then you can respond. Go ahead. What were you saying, Breacher?
Yeah, what I'm saying is highly unlikely, giving full credence to the word highly, where any information basically stating that God exists or stating that God don't exist passes from one generation to another generation to another generation all the way to us, for nobody to input their biases in it. It is highly unlikely, right? So I don't think any information can be authenticated with the mythology that we use today to be 100% authentic. That is why I personally hold to metaphysical truths, right? Do you hold to metaphysical truths?
No, I don't really entertain the metaphysical truth.
Really? So all truths are scientifically verifiable? You hold to scientific truth, right?
What I'm gonna say is, if I don't know something, I'm gonna say I don't know. If you ask me a question, if I think I know the answer and I fact checked and verified it, I'll say what I think the answer is based on my facts and evidence. But other than that, I'm gonna say I have no fucking clue.
Now you hold to metaphysical truth. They're just not thinking about it. I can tell you that for sure. Everybody does.
You would have to ask me to see, because I don't deal with these things in I'm trying to get an answer to a question that is objective. I don't want to play with my opinion when it comes to this. That's why when you said, yeah, I'm giving you my beliefs, my opinion on God has been removed, because I don't give a fuck. I have no opinion on God. I care about what actually is and what actually happened to the best of my ability. If I can't figure that out, I'm gonna say I don't know. But let me ask you a question, and I know Vossi want to get in there. Do you think humans create creatures, or like supernatural creatures? Do you think we create these beings to deify our culture and to explain things, or to anthropomorphize nature? Do you think people have done that throughout history?
Well, absolutely. Of course.
Okay, stay right there. Stay right there. I am simply agreeing with you, and appreciate it, crazy. I am simply agreeing with you, and I'm saying this is across the board objective. Cultures throughout history, during the time of antiquity and right now, humans have always given nature. They've always given nature human qualities. They've always created deities to deify their culture. They've always created stories as a cultural remembrance. They've always done this. I am simply saying this is true for all of them, and you're saying this is not, this don't apply to mine. Which one of us is lying?
No, I'm saying that doesn't nullify God existing. That's what
Right.
I'm saying.
You're saying that this objective truth across the board of all cultures does not apply to the religion that you practice. And I'm asking you, why not?
Yeah, so I'm not saying people don't make up gods, right? I'm saying based on my particular belief, I don't believe in religion, right? But based on my particular belief, I hold to these things being metaphysically true, and based on the teaching of my belief, it aligns with the reality I live in.
Can you name me a God that's made up? Name a deity that you know for a fact is made up. Give me one.
Oh yeah, I mentioned it earlier, Zeus.
Okay. I am simply saying that there is no distinction between a God like Zeus and a God like I'm gonna keep using Marduk. I'm simply saying, because according to the Babylonian mythology, they're saying Marduk created the universe. I'm saying that there is no way for them to, there is no way that we can verify that as true. There is no symmetry breaker between Marduk and Zeus.
Then at best, host, you're an agnostic. At best.
No, because I know for a fact humans make. Where is Nicola? I have a god that I made up named Ushmush. Ushmush is, and Nicole sent me a picture of Ushmush in my. I wish I could fucking. I don't have it saved to my phone, but she sent me a picture of Ushmush to my TikTok DM. I came up with a god. She created the visual for the god. I will right now write a whole mythology about Ushmush. Are you going to be agnostic about Ushmush?
No, sir. I'm saying man's ability to make up God doesn't nullify.
Stay with me. Stay with me. You moving past me. We're in the mall. All five of us are in the mall. We're in Journeys. You trying to go to Foot Locker. We're in Journeys. Looking for Ugg boots. Are you, now that you understand my God Ushmush is a purple dude in the sky, are you agnostic about Ushmush? Yes or no?
I am not.
Why not?
Yeah, because I know who made it up.
There you go.
Walking into the point, brother.
You reached our point.
Hey, show's over. Hey, folks, show's over. We're gonna go to Five Guys. Everybody get burgers on me, people. Let's rock out. All right. Load the truck up. We're gonna put the put the agnostics in the blue van. Everybody on my team, we're gonna get in the black van. We're gonna ride. All of us go to Five Guys. Y'all ready? Let's roll. Go get we upgraded from Whataburger today. We're gonna all get Five Guys. Let's rock out.
So let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. You know who made up God or the Christian God?
Yes. We know who made up
yes.
Yahweh.
Yes. Don't move. Don't listen. You just don't move. Now, when we get it, don't move. Do not run. Don't go nowhere. Stay where you at, because you asking the right questions. And yes, we know who made up the Christian God. Yeah. Yes, we know who made up the God of the Bible.
Okay. Yeah. I hope when you give me the answer, you're open to critiques. Because you have done what apparently smarter men than you wasn't able to do. Man, we got to get you on the world stage. Okay. So yeah.
I agree.
Okay, yeah. So, who made up God? Who made up the Christian God?
So the Christian God is Yahweh, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yahweh is a God from the southern Levant. We know this for a fact because the earliest physical, archaeological, written evidence of Yahweh is talking about the Shasu. The Shasu are desert nomadic people from the southern Levant. Look up what's called the Solub Egyptian inscription. This is the earliest known reference to Yahweh. We don't have nothing before this. We can't presuppose anything before this. We got to go off what we have evidence for. And we have evidence that this was a deity worshipped in the southern Levant by the Shasu. The Shasu are from Midian. They're Midianites. It's called the Midianite Kenite hypothesis, where we're basically saying that this God was first worshipped where it first appears. We cannot say, no, this God come from Germany, because who the fuck in Germany was talking about Yahweh at that time? Nobody.
And what time?
So this was 1400s BCE.
Ancient time, huh?
Yes. Because the worship of the God predates the religions that man made later. Yes.
So in the 1400s.
And so,
okay, finish.
1400s BCE.
Okay. So yeah, so in the 1400 BCE.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so in the 1400 BCE, you're here sitting on TikTok telling me that you know for sure that none of that information was fabricated, tampered with, changed, stuff taken out, inserted. You're telling me you have that information from 1400. What year we in? 2026? Yeah, you're telling me from the 1400 BCE all way to 2026. None of that information was changed. You have it in its authentic form. Is this what you're telling me here today?
Yes.
Wait, hold on.
It gets worse. It gets worse for you though, because I would see. You don't even know. You listen. You just dug a hole you cannot get out of by asking me that question.
Right. So hold on. I'm actually trying to ascertain what is Breacher actually trying to ask. What do you mean the information didn't change? What do you mean by that? What are you talking about?
I hold, and I think if a little bit of pride, I think you'll also agree that you hold to it too. I hold that any information from the ancient time to modern day, if it's passing through different generations' hand, I said it earlier, people are going to tamper with it. Their belief, their biases, their religions, their worldview, those information is going to be inserted. Things are going to be taken out. That goes for both information for God and not for God, right? But, and the host is here talking with absolute certainty that he has this information in its authentic form. That is highly unlikely. You can't truly authenticate any information from ancient time.
Right. But Breacher, that what you just said is exactly our point. When you said that when it comes to like traditions that's passed on through time, people are going to add stuff, take stuff out. What we're saying is that Christianity right now is the addition of what came from those ancient times. Like in the original version of Yahweh worship, he was just a storm and war deity that the Midianites worship. Then over time, remember 1400 BCE is at least 3,000 to 4,000 years ago. That's a lot of time. So we're saying that the original version of Yahweh worship was just a storm and war deity, and those Midianites were always in a war. Now, when they won the war, their war deity then became upgraded to the main god they worship because they needed to worship the war deity to win the wars. So now that they're a civilization, now Yahweh is the war deity. Then when they lost, they had to repackage Yahweh because the Zoroastrians came. That's when they learned about other gods, a god that's evil. That's when they added demons into it. Then when they came out of captivity, they started worshiping Yahweh again. And now he's just not one of the gods in the main pantheon. He's the only one because he's the one that saved them, right? This is how it happens. You get things added into the context. This could have happened with Zeus. This could have happened with the Shinto religions. It could happen with any one of them, but it happened with Yahweh because of all the wars and the chaos that was going on. And then the reason why we're Christian today is because Roman or Byzantine, one of those Roman or Byzantine people,
thing.
Yeah, exactly. They started worshiping that god too. And because of the history of Europe, because of colonization, now we all got it. But this all came from a small Midianite tribe in 1400 BCE who was going through war. That was the original version. We have the Christianity, Islam, and Judaism are all the changed version of it.
Okay. So the difference between what I'm saying and what you're saying, right? I'm willing to even accept what you're saying, right? But I don't think respectfully. By the way, you Haitian, right? Kishan, yeah, man. I love some black rice, some spars, Jean-Jacques.
Don't let them buddy you up now. Hold up.
The difference in what I'm saying, like you keep presenting this information on the theist side. I'm advocating that in like manner, the same is true for information against theism, from information from that side. But you guys don't seem to be willing to accept that. You guys seem to be willing to accept that any information against theism being made up or whatever, that's true and authentic and hasn't been changed. Anything about God existing, Christian God, Allah, whatever, that has been altered in some way. It's inconsistent in my opinion.
But
if you're not cognizant of what you're trying to say, I'm sorry, Dreadful. Go ahead.
I'm sorry too. No, because I don't want us to move. You made the point that brings it all home, and he said he agrees with you. You can't agree with Vorsi and then say but, because what he just did, it what he just talked about debunks Abrahamic religions altogether.
Right. You don't get my point. I'm saying if I'm willing to accept that information about Abrahamic religions have been altered, right? These are information for theism, some type of theist God. I'm saying any information against the theist God is likely to go through the same alteration process from ancient time. You can't advocate that this information hasn't been altered in any way. So
what information are you talking about, Breacher? That's what I'm confused about.
The soul of Egyptian inscription hasn't been. You do know that they have, because hold up, Vossi. So the difference between what Vossi has said and what the Bible, the Quran, and the Torah is saying is y'all's Bible, y'all's books, or y'all religious literature. The religious literature is the claim. It's not the evidence. I gave you a physical inscription of the God. There's more, but that's not even the only one. There's inscriptions talking about Yahweh, the blessed, and his Asherah. You have to ask yourself, why are they, if this is the all-powerful creator, if this has always been the all-powerful creator of the universe, and it was just him, and then he made the word, and then the word was Jesus, and then it's just him, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit in the beginning, why are there inscriptions of my God and this Asherah? What is Asherah? Who is Asherah? You got to ask yourself questions like this to understand that the religion is false and the God evolved over time.
Let me ask you, do you think you have biases when it pertains to God existing?
No.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you have biases. You think your biases are that God doesn't exist. Those are your biases. Everyone has biases.
Both of us agree that humans make up gods, right?
Yes, humans have made up.
Is that a bias of ours? Is it bias for you and I to say humans make up gods? Yes or no? Is that a bias?
No, that's not the bias I was alluding to.
Why isn't that a bias though? I'm making a point. Why isn't the fact that you and I accept that humans make up gods, why isn't that a bias?
Yeah, because that's a fact. You just told me you made one up.
Stay with me. Don't go nowhere. You so close. Okay. Let's go. So you and I agree that it is not biased to say humans make up gods. Now we must determine which gods are real and which gods are made up, right?
What's your methodology for that?
Comparative religion and anthropology.
Oh, so by comparing one religion to another.
Yes, to find the symmetry breaker between a God that is made up and a God that is real.
And your determination of comparing all religions is that all of them is fake.
100%. Based on the history, the etymology, the anthropology, and the cultural understanding of those people of that time. Yes, 100%.
Not only that, but we have never shown anything supernatural.
See, that's where he want to go. Because if we go there, then we're gonna get into these people with their personal experience and their NDEs, and I fell asleep and God took me to hell. Hold up, we're gonna just hold up. We are right where we need to be. We are right where we need to be in this conversation. You and I agree humans make up gods. You asked me what is my methodology to determine how a person or how a people group make up God. I gave it to you. History, the etymology of words, the cultural anthropology, the comparative religions. That's how we do it.
Okay.
I'm asking now, what is the difference between a God or religion that is man-made and a God and a religion that is objectively true across the board? What is the difference?
Yeah, I gave you some of the symmetry breaker, depending on the teaching of a particular religion, right? So what I'm saying is, I'm just trying to examine your method here. So you started off as not believing in nothing. You started off as an agnostic. God could exist and God couldn't.
No, I was a Christian.
Actually, preacher,
all of us are Christian.
My bad, Bar. Before we just move on, you said that you give a symmetry breaker, and that was the stories.
That's what we was at. That's what we was. I'm sorry, boss. That is where we were. You're right. Thank you for moderating. That was good. That's what we. Let's go back. Say that again, Vossi.
You said because Bar's question is, what is the symmetry breaker between Yahweh and all the other gods? And you said the stories that they teach. The stories are not a symmetry breaker because it's like, if that was the case, I could say that Olodumare is real because of the stories that it teaches and it uplifts black people. And because like we want to uplift black people, therefore Olodumare is true. The stories don't show that something is true. You need to have more than that.
No, when I say the stories, I'm talking about the properties of the God, right? That's
That doesn't matter. What I'm saying is that how do you show that's real? It's simply defining the God as having these traits does not mean that that's actually a thing, that it's actually real. You could define anything into existence, like Usmus, the God that Bar made up. It could have the same properties as the Yahweh has, right? But you know that he made it up. So it's like the properties is not enough for it to say that it's real. My bad, Bar. Go ahead.
Well, absolutely it is.
I want to add to what you just said, Vossi, because when I asked him, how does he know I made it up? He says, because I know who made it up. And we was all about to go to Five Guys. His answer for how he know I made it up is because he knows who made it up. And I'm simply saying we know who made up all the other gods too.
And I'm telling you that you don't.
Okay. What do you do? What do you do when you find out that there are stories and motifs in the Bible that parallel older mythology? What do you do with that information?
What is to do with that information? Does that mean that God doesn't exist?
Heaven, hell, demons, creation stories, creator gods, flood narratives, sons of gods, sending the messenger, the passion narratives, the immaculate conception, the end times, apocalyptic literature, gods being resurrected, the underworld. What do you do when you find out that all of this stuff in the Bible comes from older mythology, or it resembles or parallels older mythology? What do you do with that? Remember, hold up, before you answer this, think about what you and I agreed on. We agreed that humans make up gods and stories and mythology. We agreed on that. We are now trying to find the symmetry breaker between a mythological story and character versus things that are objectively true. So with that in mind, we are now wrestling with the fact that everything in the Bible parallels older mythology that we deem made up. You understand that, right? So what do you do when you find out that there are things in the Bible that we deem true that parallel things that predated that we deem as myth or fiction? What do you do with that information?
Yeah, so if there's anything in the Bible that you're saying parallels something that predates when the Bible was supposed to be written, I mean, that just goes back to what I said. People insert that their biases, and that's both on the theist side and the atheist side. But what I'm telling you, this does nullify that a God exists, right? If you're going to compare 10 fake religion to determine amongst each other to determine if God exists, and 10 fake religion being compared, you determine these are all fake, therefore God don't exist. That's circular. Your method to determine God's existence is flawed, my friend. That's all I'm saying, right? You have to hold to metaphysical truths, which is what I hold to, right? Things external to the human mind, right? And human mind make up gods. So things external to the human mind that is axiomatically true, right? Things that are grounded that we cannot change, that is external to the human mind that we hold truth to. For example, the laws of logics, right?
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Yeah, so comparing fake things among each other to determine if God is real or not is flawed, right? That's why I asked if you hold to metaphysical truth, and you say you don't, and I'm telling you that you do. You just don't know it. Your identity is a metaphysical thing. You know who you are, right? Right. So, but listen, man, I gotta go back.
If you read the topic, you say you about to go?
Yeah, I gotta go.
Yeah, go ahead, because he's not even good at what he's trying to do. But he's been hiding behind the damn philosophy the whole time. He won't pinpoint.
Okay, I have a few minutes. How am I not gonna?
I'm not done, Breacher. You okay? You okay?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Thank you. He will not zero in on the God that he believes in. That's why he keeps trying to run the metaphysical truth, because you can't substantiate the Christian God, but you can create an argument for a God in general. Still doesn't make it true, but that's what he's been doing the whole fucking time.
Well, yeah, is what she said able to be critiqued, or is she just laid the law down? That's it.
I mean, you can respond, but remember, before you 10 seconds. So I've helped you out, because I've mapped out for you which your God is either a myth a gap of knowledge, or it's a label for something we already can explain. Those are the only three categories for a deity. And you have to determine, and by our conversation, we have determined which category your deity falls under. So when you do a metaphysical argument for a God in general, that doesn't get closer. That doesn't get us closer to your God, and the God that you're arguing for is on this list as well of gods that are not real.
Okay, so you guys seem to be, and I think this is what Ariel was alluding to, and I wanted to have a more productive conversation. You guys seem to be talking about who God is. I'm trying to have a conversation that God is, right? So she's saying, I'm not honing into the particular God. Yeah, you want to talk about who God is. I want to talk about that God is. And everything that you've said
you have
to compare. I'm not done.
Yeah, go ahead and get dropped.
Let him finish. Go ahead, bro.
Right. So yeah, I spoke about a little bit about what I believe, and I also, for the sake of this conversation, say, yeah, maybe that information might have been altered. But that doesn't nullify that God is, right?
Okay.
So you want to do philosophy, and that's what I was saying. You will not hone in on that one because that's going to fall under the category that Bar's talking about. That shit is made up. We can prove it. What we can't prove, what you're saying, right, is we cannot prove that a God doesn't exist because the metaphysical and all of the logic and the properties, that's what you're getting ready to do, because you can make an argument according to what you follow about these metaphysical properties and these uncaused causes and all that Philbro shit you're getting ready to do. You're going to form an argument that there must be a God, but it's still not going to point us to the one you believe in, and it's not going to objectively prove that the God in general exist either. It's just going to be an argument.
Okay, yeah. So what type of evidence would you willing to accept?
Type of evidence I think we're willing to accept is something that's demonstrable, repeatable, something that can be shown to exist in reality, right? Demonstrable, repeatable, and demonstratable. I think if you don't mind, let me give you an example. I think you operate this way as well, because I ask this question all the time. If I were to tell you that I have $10 billion in the Bahamas, quit your job and leave your family, I'll give you $50 million for you to build a whole new life. Are you going to do it just because I told you so?
I'm not.
Right, exactly. What do you need to for you to believe that I have $10 billion?
Within the parameters of this hypothetical, I would need some type of evidence, bank statements,
right,
log into your account. I don't know.
So we're asking for the bank statement. And when it comes to Christians or anybody who believes in a God, they're telling me that the bank statement exists outside of space and time. What if I were to tell you, oh, you can't see my bank statement? It's outside of space and time. Just trust me, bro. You're not going to follow me to Bahamas, are you?
No, I'm not.
That's where we are.
Okay, so let me meet you where you are. All right, so first of all, I think respectfully, this is a category error. And just a drip of intellect, respectfully, guys, respectfully, just a drip of intellectual.
Test? Am I still on? Oh, okay. That's him, Ms. Breacher. He probably got a call.
He probably got muted because he's about to get mad and start throwing insults.
Why y'all muting me?
I just told you why. Go ahead and make your statement without the insult.
I don't insult people. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is that respectfully, right, that that's a category error. Why? Because God is a metaphysical entity. So the scientific method, like you said, velocity is only for well, you said demonstrable, repeatable. Those are only for physical things. That's it. You cannot use a physical verified method for a metaphysical entity. That's a category error.
Do you know you still have a problem though, Breacher?
Say what?
You still have a problem. You know what that problem is?
What's the problem?
According to believers, God still interacts with the universe in tangible ways. So if he interacts with the universe in tangible ways, we should be able to detect it. And we haven't.
Right. So I can tell you that the tree growing out of the ground is because of God. But to prove that it's because of God, that's another whole other task.
Right, exactly. So, that's the problem. So if you're going to say that the tree's growing out of the ground because of God, then that means that you're saying that the God interacts with the universe in tangible ways, but somehow we can't detect it. We're still asking for the bank statement. And you're saying that I can't give you one, still follow me to Bahamas.
Right. So once God's interaction and God himself is two different things. You're asking to prove God, not the things that because I could say anything is his interaction, and you could disagree with it.
No, not really. If you're saying that the trees grow out of the ground because God is making it do so, then you have to have some sort of way to show that's true. And if you're saying that, well, I can't show that, what happens? You can't show me your bank statement.
Well, so my thing is this right here. I'm talking to you, Voss. I don't think, like, okay, because when we've been asking these people to prove their God is real for ages, and the truth is, no one can prove the existence of these gods because these gods are not real. They can't prove the existence of these gods. So I'm simply saying, instead of me asking you to prove the existence of something you cannot prove because it does not exist, I'll just tell you what category what you're worshiping falls into. And because your God has a name, Yahweh, we can simply just trade. I'm not going to ask you to prove Yahweh is real because I know for a fact Yahweh is a cultural myth that got to upgrade. That is not up for debate. We can't even debate it because we got inscriptions of the Shasu of Yahweh. We got inscriptions of Yahweh and his Ashira. And then you start to see biblical stories develop. That's a cultural myth getting an upgrade based on the physical archaeological evidence and the written inscriptions of this deity. That is not up for debate. It ain't. The only thing you could really do is have a conversation to understand why your God is made up. I'm telling you, for a fact, 100% across the board, objectively, your God is made up. You just got to understand why. And I've given it to you. So if
evidence, or else it would be able to prove throughout the whole world. This is what I'm saying.
The only reason why the whole world doesn't agree is because the world has been colonized by people who believe in the God. That's the only reason why.
To ignore hard, solid evidence? No.
We are living on a globe that has been conquered by, I think over 80% of this globe has been conquered and colonized by people who believe in Yahweh. Why the fuck would they just wake up one day and say, well, you know what? Yahweh is made up. They would never do that. That's why when you ask me what's the difference between me and them, money, control.
I'm telling you, the reason why people do that, because what you presented, people can say no one can authenticate what you're saying to be true. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Yeah, we can. We all of us together can do it at the same time. We can get on a fucking plane right now and fly our asses over there.
The double standard for evidence is kind of crazy because these are people that believe the Bible and they will question you up and down about how you verified history and how you know this to be true, but you believe in the Bible. Like, y'all don't do that with the shit you believe in.
It was great talking. Yeah, man, I got to do that Sunday shopping. So, hey, I'll catch y'all next time. Take it easy.
Hey, yo, Bar.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going, Gardner? Give me
2:30.
I'm sorry. Huh?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you just keep it going. I gotta go ahead and do something real quick, and I was gonna come back, and I was just gonna go ahead and make this the live. We might as well just keep it going because you know what I mean. What time is it, Warren?
You want to do this? Like,
yeah, I'll just come back and we just keep it going.
I'm gonna send you the thing so you can do the little shit that you.
Yeah. Send me the photo. When I come back, I can go ahead and put it up, and then we'll just go ahead and keep it going.
Okay.
All right. Cool. But I might stay for Garnett, but I'm gonna come back right after it. Go ahead, Garnett. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Okay. Garnett, how old are you?
41.
You believe in God?
That was one of my questions.
Oh.
When you guys say God, what are you talking about? Like, are you talking about religion aspects, like, the religion portion, or are you guys talking about an architecture?
I have it. So if you look up behind my head, I have it labeled as it's either a myth, a gap of knowledge, or a label. So depending on who, like the person I'm talking to, depending on their God belief, it falls into one of these three categories. It does, like, there is no fourth category. Either you believe in a God that has a name we can trace back, or you believe in a God because you don't know how the universe got here. That's called the God of the gap. So that's like that's a God of ignorance, or you're calling things you don't understand God, or you're putting the title God as a label for things we can't explain, like love and consciousness and nature. They're calling things in nature God when we can explain those things without the label. And I'm simply claiming if it can be explained without the label God, then explain it without the label God, because calling it God, it makes it more mysterious than it needs to be.
But God is something that people deify. So a God can be a tree. God can be. You could say, "Oh, that chair is my God."
Well, see,
so a label.
Yeah, a label.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying. That's how I see it. Like, but when I say I have proof of the metaphysic, and I mean, I believe there is a creator, there is a grand architect. Like, that's what I believe in, because there's something above us. Like we are 4-dimensional. We see in 3 dimensions. So there are other dimensions.
Do you practice
So
any religion?
no, I don't.
You just believe in a creator?
Yes, I'm
A
spiritual, not religious.
Right.
Yeah.
See, but hold up. Wait a minute. Right. Boom. So you're doing what you're doing is going to allow what I call Jesus smuggling, because I understand what you mean when you say the creator and you say you're spiritual, but you're spiritual calling this thing that you believe in by a religious term that has been usurped by the Judeo-Christian worldview. By calling your creator God, you are allowing these people to smuggle Jesus into the definition of what you're talking about. Because anywhere you go on this planet that's been conquered by Christians and you say you believe in God, the creator, they think you're talking about Yahweh. Are you talking about Yahweh?
That's them. That's their thought process. That has
Yes,
nothing to do with my belief system.
but I'm simply saying that they have stolen the word and used it wrong, and you've repurposed the word and used it wrong. That's what I'm saying. Because gods are men in the sky.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm
Gods
saying. Like,
are, to be specific, gods are white European men in the sky. That is what a god was prior to the Christians coming
that's what
and
it is
taking the word.
culturally right now. But prior to Christians, what was God? Was there a God?
Listen, God was a white man in the sky before the Christians came. God was not nature and a tree and love. That wasn't a God at first. God was Odin. Do you believe in Odin?
No, but
Then you don't believe in the original, the
I
original
don't.
All Father called God. You don't even believe in it, but you're calling
No,
something else God.
because it's my language.
Yes, we are speaking, exactly. We are speaking English.
Yeah. So that's the word that you would use to describe certain things. Like, blue is azul in Spanish. It's just a word that you're using
Yes,
to describe something.
and I'm telling you, it is a word that did not evolve organically. This is not, like, because we have slang and shit today, right? We got ebonics. This word did not evolve organically where people just started making it mean something different inside of the culture. That's not what happened. The Christians changed this definition of this word to force Christianity on those people. That is not organic. That is not something we should I don't respect that. Do you?
No.
I don't. Exactly. So I'm simply saying that it is culturally inappropriate to call, as because you're black, right?
Yeah.
Our people did not call the supreme creator God. They believed in something else that has a different face and imagery to it.
Okay, but you're talking about the word, but what about the concept of a higher being?
The concept of a higher being is it's exclusive and it's separate and it's not all encompassing. Everybody's supreme creator, higher power being looks different, comes from a different culture, and means something different to those people. And
Yeah,
it's
but
not.
they
It's
look. You don't see them. So how does anybody even have a look?
people's.
Can I?
People's. People's.
I'm sorry. Can I?
I'm about to get you. I know you got it. I'm about to get you in there. People's creator deities do have a look to them. That's just not true. In other cultures, because
But they ain't never seen them.
what I'm saying is they have created
They
imagery
don't
for
exist.
them. Everybody's creator God looks like the people that made it up.
Yeah.
Your God doesn't have a face though.
No.
Because you are right. You are calling something that is not a God a God. That's what I'm telling you.
But what I'm saying is, really though, my overall point was about there is a one truth. Like,
No,
do
that's
you know what what is it? Animism?
yes, I know what animism is, but go
Yeah.
back to what you just said. There is no one truth.
There's a basis. Like, just like how
Mythology is not
what
objective.
okay, what I'm saying is there's a basis. There's a base plane. Like, as far as the reason why we have colors is because of the object's distance from the sun. So, something that is um, green or something that is purple, they're different distances. You understand what I'm saying? So there are things that make up the universe. There are chemicals, there's compounds, there's things that make up different things. So there is a base. So that's
Okay.
what I'm talking about.
But that's not your point. You're trying to tell us there's a creator that did that shit on purpose.
And there's no evidence of a creator, ma'am.
Yeah, I wanted to add.
is.
Hold on. I just want to ask add one more thing. When it comes to the whole higher being things, even that is different amongst different religions. Like, for example, in Western
Thank you for
Africa,
backing me up on that. Please continue. Thank you. Shit.
because in Western Africa, the beings aren't quote unquote higher. They're just in a different plane of existence, and they kind of help us out through our community. You see what I'm saying? So they're not really higher in any sense. So yeah, even that, a being that's higher than us, even that comes from like outside of our spiritual heritage and cultural context. You see what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where, people in your position, when they ask, when you say talk about a higher being or anything like that, I'm always wondering what exactly does that mean, and how did you even get to that conclusion?
Yeah, higher dimensional. Yes.
Right. So yeah, so
metaphysical.
Exactly. So we exist in the third dimension, and we travel through the fourth, because the fourth is time, right? So we travel through time linearly and only in one direction. You're saying that they could be like creatures that exist in the fourth dimension that can exist non-linearly, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay. I mean, that's speculative. I'm not sure how to really address it, but I wouldn't even call those God. Even in our perspective, if we were to interact with a creature like that, we'll get a mind blown situation. You know what I mean? Because we've never been able to concept with that. But that's basically like, ants seeing us. Because the way ants interact with us, which is part of the environment, we're such a complex thing that we might as well be gods. You know what I mean?
Right,
but we're not really gods. We're just other creatures in the environment.
We're just higher, we're higher beings, right? But all right, like when you look at the microcosm versus the macrocosm, there's stages. So we would have to have been, not necessarily, I'm not saying necessarily on purpose, you know what I mean? I would say that we are a part of a larger or higher dimensional being.
What is the evidence of this? You said there was evidence. Can you give us some of it?
Yeah, so what you call it? It's also in the Bible when Abraham talks about it, and then
that's not
also Bob
evidence.
Marley.
That's
Can
not.
I finish?
That's not
Can
evidence.
I finish though? But can I finish though? I'm referencing.
No. But the Bible would be the.
referencing.
Wait a minute. Hold on. But the Bible would be the claim, correct? Because the Bible
I'm
is the thing. But the Bible is the thing that claims all of these things happen. What would be the proof? What's the
It's
evidence?
not necessarily. So Bob Marley calls it a natural mystic. In Hermetica, they call it like a oneness in all. So there's like this oneness where we're all connected and we're all a part of a higher, larger system. And the evidence of that it's something that like you would have to see, but there's synchronization in things. So, like for example, let's say you're listening to something, well, once you start recognizing patterns, you're listening to something, and the trees, the way they're moving, or the way the butterflies are flying, or the way the ants are moving, they're moving to what's going on in your brain, like what you're thinking or what you're hearing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a
No, so
vibrational
so
thing.
so you don't have any evidence? Is that what
I
I'm hearing?
do. I do. I would have to show it to you though.
Show it.
But that's
What do you
not
mean?
pointing us at a creator. Like I'm confused because you're
Now,
kind
but the thing is, the pointing at it as a creator is what happens when you involve in this natural mystic that is going on. You start to open up portals and you start opening up different
yeah.
dimensions and
You're
then
just
traveling
saying stuff.
to
You
higher
don't have any
dimensions.
evidence of this. You're just saying things now, just words.
No, but if
Yeah,
you
sounds like
do the
woo nonsense.
experiment, if you do the
Okay,
experiment,
so that's what I'm Garnet. Listen, I know you want to talk, but I'm asking you, who has done the experiment and can I see the results of this experiment? That's what I mean by evidence.
Gotta come off of me up.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna drop real quick. Hey, Bar, send me the background, and I'll be back in like an hour. Platforms, all right?
Joe, mute me.
All right.
Okay.
Appreciate y'all.
I'm gonna see the one that shit. Fuck.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like it's something that I've shown other people. I've shown numerous people this oneness and all. It's almost
Okay,
like
can one of
we're
these
part of
so
a
can one of
matrix.
these people come and explain to us what you've shown them since you don't seem to be able to do it? Can you
But
get
we
one of these
are
people?
part of nature. I don't know. You're making like 3 different points right now. You're talking about a fourth
Because y'all
dimension.
keep pulling me off.
Garnet,
Y'all
ain't
Can
don't
that
you
keep
let her
letting me make a
finish?
crazy? Why do
statement.
y'all do
Can you
that?
let her finish? Why do you let her finish? Go ahead, Ariel.
You're talking about 3 different things right now. You're talking about a fourth dimension, and you're talking about us being one with nature and all of this shit, and you're talking about a creator, but you're not tying it all together. Like, where are we going with this? I agree with you. We're all part of nature. Really, that there's other beings on that fourth dimension that may not move linear like us. Which one of those things is pointing us at a creator? Because I need you to tie it together. That's what we're asking. So right now, I feel like I'm on the magic school bus and we done went up somebody's anus. We're exploring. What are we doing? Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
and she
So
definitely brought up the Bible too. Like, oh my God.
that's why I was going back to because see, I listen to the people who don't understand. I understand when y'all say y'all believe in a higher power. My mind goes to the Most High El. That's where my mind goes when y'all say stuff like that. And I'm like, well, I'll let them talk. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, and I'll let them speak. And I won't bring it up until they bring it up. And lo and behold, every fucking time they bring up the Bible, and they ain't even you're not even biblical. You're spiritual.
I brought up the Bible one time for
Why?
one reference
Okay, can you
because
answer my question?
the way Abraham explains it. That's all I'm saying. Like there's a underlying, and what I really was talking about was the verification of metaphysicality. There's a metaphysics. So there has to, and also there has to be a creator because the way everything goes, it's in stages. So there has to be a higher power there.
There does not have to
Process
be that,
doesn't equal
though.
a creator. That's
But it does have to be though. Like
it
if you're
Okay,
doesn't.
so
looking at it
that's what I'm asking you to.
scientifically,
I'm asking you to prove that. That's what I'm asking you for evidence that there has to be a creator. It can't be any other way. That it must be a creator.
well, I mean, the Fibonacci sequence is one. You know, the golden ratio, that's God's fingerprint.
What about it? Now,
It's God's fingerprint.
I'm just going to start off by saying I have 2 degrees in mathematics. So what about the Fibonacci sequence? What about it?
It's God's fingerprint. It's proof of an architect.
Yes.
Is it not?
No.
Man.
No.
How can it be proof of an architect when a human created the Fibonacci sequence?
Nobody
When a
created
human,
it. It was here already.
when a human made it up, when a
Humans made
human
up math?
gave you, when a human gave
Humans
you,
literally made up.
yes,
No, they didn't.
when a human
Math was
gave
already
you,
here.
girl, when a human gave you the language to and the formula to explain what is going on in a conch shell, a human gave you this. This comes from a human. The Fibonacci. Why do you think they call it the Fibonacci sequence? Is that God's name?
Y'all have gotta like y'all spend a lot of time looking at this type of shit and different dimensions and higher beings and shit, but you don't know that humans made up math. You're talking about math was all they start saying language was always here. No, fucking
Observe.
wasn't. Like,
It's an observation.
we
Stop interrupting people. You are so rude, girl. You are rude.
You're so funny.
You are rude. Stop interrupting her. Why do you start talking when other people are talking?
Hold on, Lord. Man, so I think we probably just gonna move on because you don't have evidence of what you believe in. You're just calling, I don't know what you're calling a creator, but that thing is not a God, man. I'm sure that if I ask you to define what you mean by God, it has a natural explanation or it's something we're ignorant about.
I mean, the concept of God isn't something for us to even understand. So
We do understand God because we understand where that concept comes from and who made it up. Do you know what?
how did you get into this world? Like, 2 things came together.
Hold up. Stay right there. Stay right there. Don't move. Everybody hold up. Don't move. Because now I know which God you're talking about. Thank you for asking me that question. So that is the God of the gaps. Because you don't know the answer to that question, you inserted the word God there.
I don't
know how
use
we
the
got
word
here.
God in my regular vernacular.
Yeah, the creator. Well,
That's
if you're
not even
talking
what
about
you said when you first got up here. What is going on?
No, I did. I said I don't
You literally
know.
said, but this is the language that we use, and so I'm calling it God. Yes, you did.
That's what. No, I didn't know. I said that's what everybody does. That's how everybody.
And that's what you've been doing. You keep calling it God.
Yeah, in order to talk.
So
To
Okay, so
be able to communicate.
I don't call it God.
Okay,
Yes, you
call it what you call it on an everyday basis. What do you call it?
Well, y'all ain't gonna like it. I do call it Yahweh.
I told you. I knew she was about to say that shit.
Yeah.
She is a Christian.
She's
the
not.
God of the Christians.
No,
Come
that's
on
element.
down.
That's why she brought
The
up
God
element.
of the Christians. Come on down. A black person in America is a Christian.
What a coinky dink.
Yo. I swear to God, I don't know why.
Took you an hour to say
ether.
Yahweh.
I mean,
ether, ma'am.
Air.
I've been trying to be. No, ma'am. Absolutely not.
Fire.
What are you, an airbender? Get down. Get the fuck down, ma'am. You don't waste all our time. Lord have mercy,
believing
man.
in Yahweh.
She get the hollering out. She get the hollering out air, fire. What is this? The last airbender? Ma'am. You talking about Yahweh, ma'am. I'm gonna tell you what happened. I think she heard the last conversation and she was like, I'm about to tidy this shit up real good.
Yeah, metaphysics. Then she said a metaphysics. She was fried right fucking there because you don't even know what metaphysics is.
Bob Marley called it. You talking about that motherfucker that had 67 children for 75 bitches? Why would I listen to him about anything?
Man, look. Y'all, listen. If your God has a name, well, she said y'all ain't gonna like it. ma'am, you talking about? First of all, let me just say this, people. I'll go on record, and if somebody tell you nuh-uh, you bring them to me. Yahweh is not a creator God. That's not what he was at first. He's not. That's not even his title. That's not even his niche. That ain't even. That's not the. If you believe in a creator, you can't call it Yahweh because, historically, that's not who he was. That's not who he was, ladies and gentlemen. So no.
These bitches, this how y'all be getting in trouble with niggas. Y'all be trying to see the potential in niggas. That ain't
exactly. That's the thing, right? You sitting up here just saying words. It's just a bunch of words, and come to find out, you're a Christian.
What if she's a Hebrew Israelite? That'd be the icing on the cake, wouldn't it?
I mean, listen, she's putting. That's what I said. She put the Yod He Vav He in the chat. Like,
no,
you can say Yahweh. You're not an Israelite. You're not
ma'am. Ma'am, get
you don't
down,
have to refer to him as a tetragrammaton. You can say
Oh
Yahweh
shit, I'm in the live.
because what's funny is that you said. Wait, I'm gonna drop him because his name is Micro Dick James. I don't feel like fucking with white people like that today. But you said you called him Yahweh up here, but you referred to him as the Yod He Vav He in the chat. What?
That lady's a Canaanite. Yo, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy, man. You're not gonna like it. I call him Yahweh.
I do interdimensional traveling. See what I'm talking about? This is what I'm talking about, Joe.
Oh, what? Yo.
No fucking don't.
I do interdimensional traveling, girl. It's okay. Y'all could y'all could just believe in Jesus without all of this. You could just believe without all of this foolishness.
Yeah, that was crazy.
You could believe without all this foolishness.
Yeah, I don't know. Thor, how old are you?
I'm in my 30s, 34, I think.
Oh, you believe in God?
God's Almighty.
Which one?
Whichever one.
No, which God do you believe in? Which God
the
do
one
you
that
believe
be putting
in?
all that weird shit in the comments.
Yeah, which God
The
do you
living one
believe
claims to be Yahweh, but me, I don't know about that.
No, which God do you believe in?
A God, a living God.
Yeah,
is that the Christian God?
I like to think so.
Mm-hmm. So you're a Christian.
Would you call yourself a Christian? Or you Muslim?
He said yes.
He's a Christian?
I fall mostly on the Christian side, I think.
Yeah, so the Christian God is made up, and there is no symmetry breaker between the Christian God and other creator gods that people have made up. There's no difference. They're all cultural myth.
But think about it. I rang up because I heard you say something about timelines. Because think about it, civilizations. If for example, what you say is true, that God is just a gap filling up the unknown. What are the chances that timelines, generations, same civilizations existing in the same time span, and this is not in the modern age where we have technology, coming up with the same character, with the same,
It's not the same character.
Okay, not the same character, but shares the same features at the same time.
It's still not the same. Even though there are similarities, it's not the same.
But he's talking about at the same time.
At the same
different
time, no
gods
technology.
around,
How did it spread around?
Because they're not the same God, and they don't have the same traits, but people did have the same gaps in knowledge. So you got one God over on this side of the world that does creates thunder this type of way, and the other one on the other side of the world does the same thing, but they have a different story behind how their God did it.
Exactly.
So the
That's exactly
observation
right.
was the same.
Yeah.
But the interpretation different.
Mm-hmm.
So what are the chances of that happening over and over and over and over and over again?
I just
It has,
But
but it hasn't happened over and over and over again, right?
How
It
did
hasn't.
more gods get created then?
Yeah, but people, like Ariel said, people had the same gaps in knowledge. They didn't know what thunder was. They didn't know what lightning was. They didn't know where rain came from. They didn't know where snow came from.
So
They had the same gaps in knowledge.
So you would say that the new gods are the advancement in knowledge is
No, what new gods?
For example,
But because this is the thing, once we have knowledge, there is no need for God, right? If you know where the rain comes from, you don't have to blame it on a God.
But I think that's what he's asking, and that's what I was about to say, because people do the same thing with the Christianity thing right now and the slavery thing. Like, they don't have to force it anymore because people just believe it and they pass it down to their kids, and it's ongoing. Same thing. They're having gaps in knowledge. They make up this fucking rain god, and then you done taught that to your children, and then they teach it to their children, and eventually we understand where rain comes from.
What are we
But
talking about here?
are y'all?
Hold up,
Oh,
sir,
why
please,
is it always me? God damn, y'all got it. Go
Just
ahead.
hold up. I didn't even mean it. Hold up.
Yeah, I'm about to drop him anyway because he's a disgusting bitch. I don't feel like it's a thing.
I didn't mean to bring. Well, I was accepting it, and it was like waiting to join, so I thought they wasn't there anymore, and then I went to the next one and ended up bringing both of them. I thought it would have brought up just one because I'm ready to get through with Thor. He ain't got nothing.
I got some. It's a matter of imagination and reality.
You're a Christian living in where do you live?
Belgium.
Are you? What is your race or creed or color?
I'm African.
It makes sense that you're Christian.
It would make sense because just think about it: imagination versus reality. Which one comes first?
No, I'm saying it makes sense that you're an African Christian because that's who colonized us, Christians. It makes sense that you believe that. But Christianity is made up just like all the other religions, sir. It's made up. And so the God of the Bible, it is a God from the southern Levant. Okay. It's a God from the southern Levant. That's all it is, sir. That's all it is, and that's all it ever will be. And there's no amount of belief in the God that's going to change that fact about the God. So you're literally stuck with the mythology, whether you believe harder, pray harder, you attribute your personal experience. You attribute your personal you attribute your personal experience to it. It don't even matter. It's still going to be fake.
I wouldn't claim to know God truly.
Yeah, no.
Because
Get down.
I'm a very confused
Get
guy.
down. Yeah, before I go to the next, Antoine, you a traitor, bro. Yeah. You in there letting them Christians use you for the Lord, huh? Yeah. Now, he don't know he up here. Antoine. Come back when you get to the mic, Antoine. Angie, what's up?
Kalispera, good afternoon. Oh man, you missed Sphinx Live last night. Well, this morning, I should say.
Listen. I fell asleep right when I saw it. I said, "Do I want to click on?" And I went to sleep. I ain't gonna lie. I
He
saw it.
had
Fell
me up
asleep.
until 6 o'clock this morning. It was me, him, Raven. I don't know if you know Raven.
Yeah, Raven. I know Raven. You talking about with the yellow shirt in the profile picture?
Yeah, with
Black
the hearts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Empress. We were having a good fucking time.
Yeah. So, well, just to catch Well, I'll wait till we don't have people, we don't have guests.
And
Reckless, how
I'm
old
gonna
are you?
make a
sorry, go ahead,
news
Home.
announcement for these guests before we even
Mhm.
start, because I'm tired of Ariel and Lords being cut off. When we bring you up on the panel, that doesn't mean to insert yourself in the conversation. Stay your ass on mute until you're introduced. Until we get your name and not your name, your age and your religion, don't say nothing. This is a A-B conversation between us and these guests. Don't be stupid. Because you will be dropped. We're not even going to argue with you. We're not going to fight the mute button with you. That's all.
Reckless, how old are you?
23.
You believe in God, right?
Yeah.
Which one?
The Christian God, of course.
Do you know his name?
Jesus.
Yeah. What's
Question mark behind it?
he like Jesus?
Jesus?
I mean,
Yeah.
I get it. There's other ones like Yahweh or whatever. But
Yeah, the God. I'm talking about God the Father, because that God predates Christianity.
God the Father.
Yeah, Yahweh predates Christianity, so I'm really talking about Yahweh. The God. When I say the God of the Bible, I'm talking about Yahweh. I'm not talking about Jesus, because
it predates Christianity. So
Mhm.
who called them Yahweh before Christians did?
The Shasu people of the Southern Levant.
What do you mean? Who called him Yahweh before Christians did? Jewish people called him Yahweh before Christians did. They're not Christian. He was their God.
And before the Jewish people called him Yahweh, the Shasu, because the Shasu are not Jews, they're not Israelites, but they called him Yahweh as well, or they worshipped him. So he was worshipped long before there was a Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Paul's letters, Revelations, all that. The God was worshipped before that.
I mean, they really think Christianity is the beginning when it is one of the youngest religions.
No, not really. No.
It is one of the youngest religions. Tell me.
Hold on, Lord. Shit. I forgot where I was at. Damn it. Go.
You were talking about the Shasu people calling him Yahweh.
I was past that, and then
the Levant. You brought up the Levant.
Okay, and then Lois had said, "What?" Even I just lost my train of thought.
That Christianity was a baby. Which it is.
But Christianity is one of the youngest religions.
When she said it, my mind went straight to it. I forgot what I was thinking about. But okay, go ahead.
And I'm trying to figure out, how do you think it's not? When Christianity is based on the birth of Jesus, right? And when was Jesus born?
Sometime it was like some thousand years ago. But I think
You
Christianity.
don't know when Jesus was born as a follower of Jesus?
Bro, it was like I know he had passed. It was like 80-32. He was like 30-some years old. But like when he was born, it was literally like
That's not what she asked you, brother. She asked
he was
you
born in the it was like the first century. Like between the first
Okay,
century.
so then how could Christianity not be one of the younger religions? If the person that this religion is based on wasn't born until the first century.
Well, he existed before they found it as a official religion.
So how when he wasn't born until the first century?
No, it wasn't like Christianity wasn't founded while he was like around.
Right.
Like
And if he died in the first century, listen. If he died in the first century, right? How could Christianity be an older religion?
I mean, you got to think about it. Religion wasn't really. I mean, yes, of course, it was other religions before that, but to say that he's like one of the newer ones, as if like
Sir, he died in the first century.
Okay, I got you. But I'm
so what religion came after that?
I don't know.
Islam. Right. And then what religion came? What major religion that's tied to the Abrahamic gods came after Islam?
Was it Muslims? No, they was before, right?
That is the Abraham.
Islam is Muslim.
Young man, focus. Lock in now.
Okay, okay. I'm trying to listen, but I feel like it's like kind of a little bit all over the place. Maybe it's me though.
No, it's not. Listen to what you're saying. Do you not know that Islam, that a Muslim practices Islam?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Islam is the religion.
Yeah, it's an
right?
Islamic religion.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if Islam came after Christianity, what major Abrahamic religion came after Islam?
I honestly don't know.
Do you know what Abrahamic means?
Yeah, Abraham religion.
Wait. Abrahamism?
Abrahamic religion. However you say it. Yeah, I'm aware.
What are the
Abrahamic?
Hold on. What are the Abrahamic religions? Just so we know that you know what you're worshiping.
So basically, like the Abrahamic religion, according to my knowledge, is like basically like what a lot of Jews and Islamic faith fathers like. The Abrahamic religion was like basically.
You don't know. You don't know. It's okay. You don't know.
On. Just okay. So we let's. I want to get to the point. Yeah. So let's get to the topic because you came up here to address the prompt. So as a Christian, you believe in a God named Yahweh. I am simply saying that Yahweh is made up like all the other gods. He's not real because the title is your God. I'm talking about yours specifically. Your God is not real. The one that you worship is made up.
I beg to differ.
That's how we got
you can break it down. But see, here's the thing. You can break it down like historically and find plot holes in it. But that's such a long time ago. Right. But here's what I know for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Here's what I know for sure. I'm not really knowledgeable. I'm not a a philosopher. People who still spend years studying the religion.
Let them hold up. Let them get it out. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Like scholars and stuff. Like I don't really follow all that stuff. It's like get into the history. I mean, now I am a little bit, and I do debunk a lot of things that a lot of people in the Christian community do, especially the white T supremacists. But it's more of a walk a spiritual journey for me.
Okay.
There's things that have happened, and he's like, yeah, I don't tell many people this because whatever. To people it sounds crazy, but there's things that I've seen with my own two eyes that showed me, right?
Cool. So are you familiar?
Yeah.
So this is nothing.
Real.
This is nothing new. This is nothing real because everywhere you go on this planet, people ascribe they ascribe their personal experiences to whatever God or spiritual entity they believe in. So this is nothing new. You're doing what every other human being that believes in a spiritual or religious thing do. Y'all all do this. There is no reason for me to believe you when you say you had an encounter that you can attribute to Yahweh versus someone who believes in Marduk or Tiamat or Asclepius saying that they had a personal experience they can attribute to those entities. Those get canceled out. So that your personal experience. Hold up.
Shut up. He let you talk. He told us not to say anything. Don't interrupt him.
I let you get it out. Personal experience does not make the God real. Okay, now it's your turn to listen. Do any of y'all have on the Lord have mercy? Y'all got anything to say to him?
I don't think he's well equipped for the conversation.
Yeah, I know.
He's not trained.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about white man supremacy while following their religion. Crazy word.
Okay. Hold on. Let me say this. That is not.
No. The thing is, first of all, my God is sir, please. No one is attacking him, right? He came up here. The prompt is your God is not real. Myth, gap, label, prove me wrong. We are talking about the historicity of these religions. He does not even know what an Abrahamic religion is, right? I'm not sure why Christians think that when we talk about this God and these religions, that we are doing it to wrestle with your thoughts. We are not. If you're saying, when you start off a sentence with, the only thing I know for sure is then I'm assuming that you have some evidence behind what you're about to say. Not how you feel, not how you think, and not what you believe. I don't care about that. I only care what you can prove. He doesn't even know where these religions stand in the historical timeline. There is nothing that we can talk to him about. I don't want to talk to him about his feelings and what he saw and what he attributes to God, because that's probably everything.
I want to address the white team, like Christianity being the white man's religion.
Go ahead and address it.
Okay. Listen, here's what I know for sure. I'll say it again. Here's what I know for a fact.
And I'm going to ask you for evidence of what you know. After you say it, I want you to give me evidence of it. Go ahead.
You can look it up.
Go ahead and tell us. Like, we don't know.
Right. Well, I mean, okay. A lot of everybody, and you said this earlier. It was like the only reason why Africans are Christian.
What do you know for sure, sir?
That Africa was had already found itself as a Christian religion before Europe was even thought about.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
Wait a minute. Hold up.
Look it up.
Yeah,
Give us the evidence. Give us the evidence.
I bet. Watch this.
He said before
Give us the source. Give us the source for this.
Bro,
so something that we can go look up. Something that we can go look up. Google is not a source. Where did you find this information?
I got plenty. I mean, there's a lot of sources. It's like, okay, here's the thing.
Name one. Name, You said you could prove it? Name one.
Bro, Google it, bro.
No. Sir, Google is not.
Nobody,
Google, listen, I know I'm not. You said that you could prove it. Google is not a source. I'm asking you where you got this information from.
It's common. Honestly, it's common knowledge, actually.
It's really
Sir, give
it's
us
common
the
knowledge.
source. Give us the source.
But it's common knowledge, though.
Give us the source.
This is why
it is.
Hold on.
That nigga is 15. He's not equipped.
Okay, hold up. Just so I want to make sure you understand what you're claiming. You're claiming that Christianity was what?
They was like Christianity. There were plenty, there were countless African nations that found themselves as Christian nations before
Name
Europe.
one.
Before
Name
Europe.
one.
Hold on.
Before
No,
Europe.
he's been. Listen, Bar.
I know.
He said that he could do something, and I want him to do it. Y'all don't hold these niggas' feet to the fire.
I know. I'm trying
want him to do it.
I know. I'm about to. That's we get into that. I just want to make sure he understand what he just said. You're claiming that Christianity was in Africa before it was in Europe. Is that what you're saying, or you saying something else?
No, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay, what's the evidence of this?
Right.
Okay, so when was Europe even discovered?
Don't ask us shit. What is the evidence? Don't ask us anything. Give us the evidence of what you said. Sir,
it's common knowledge.
No, I want you to give us the evidence of what you said. You said you had evidence. Don't ask us anything. Your evidence shouldn't include questions for us.
Okay, look. First of all, Africa existed way before. Yo, why am I?
That's not a source. Just go get the source.
What? Okay, just
understand what you heard him.
Understand what you.
He said before fucking Europe and Rome was even a thing. Before them bitches even existed.
No, I didn't say Rome. I didn't say Rome.
Before Europe even fucking existed, he said there was Christian tribes or whatever the fuck all over Africa. So go get the source so we can see that for ourselves.
Bro, it's in the Bible.
Go get it. The Bible's not a source. Go get it.
Yes, it is.
No, the fuck it's not. The Bible is a claim. No, it's not.
Okay.
It's literal.
It's literally not. Hurry up before I drop it.
Okay. So, young man, you don't know what you're talking about.
That's crazy. But
so listen. I have a live that I do where I talk about black people shouldn't be Christians, Muslims, or Black Hebrew Israelite. And when I run that topic, we actually get into what you're talking about right now. And so the people up here, and myself included, and the people that watch this program, they know that what you just said is misinformation, because we've studied this and we've looked into this. This is not true.
You educate me then. How did
that's not this live. I can't
You knew
do
it. You said you knew it. You said what you know for sure.
Maybe
you said it twice. You said what you know for sure, what you know for a fact. And that male sent a bitch. And that male sent a bitch in the comments, said that we were attacking you. So what I want you to do is give us your source.
It's common knowledge, bro.
Give us the source. Put the source in the chat.
That man,
he's gone. He's gone.
The common knowledge is common knowledge is it being common knowledge is crazy. So I'm not going to address it because this ain't that live, y'all. But if he would have had it for us, we could have did something with it. But he ain't have it, so he ain't no sense of yeah. That young man does not know what he's talking about. Manuelo.
Yes, hello. How y'all doing?
How old are you?
31.
You believe in God?
Yes, I believe in God, not in the sense of the religious aspect or anything like that. I believe in a creator, an architect, the unknown, that governs everything.
This that girl husband name.
I swear to God, if we get to the end of this conversation and you hold up, turn us off the. You gotta turn it off the background.
All right, hold on.
Yeah, tell her get out the room. Go in another room. Yeah, both of y'all can't be in the same room.
For real?
Both of y'all can't be in. Both of y'all can't be in the same room if y'all gonna be on the live on speakerphone. Y'all got to go in a different room. Yeah.
I swear to God, if we get to the end of this and you talking about Yahweh, I'm gonna be so upset because
right, Joanna. What does that mean? I believe in the unknown. What does that mean?
I know that these gods are created gods, right? It's like Plato's allegory of the cave. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is I'm on that gap, the gaps area right there, right? Where we're here to expand consciousness through imagination, right? The fact that we are creating these gods and creating all of this stuff, it's for the expansion of the universe.
Oh my goodness.
What do you mean expansion of the universe?
Because the universe is always expanding, it never ends.
What does that have to do with humans?
Right.
What this has to do with humans is because what humans are doing, right? By trying to figure out what God is and who God is, it's actually the universe trying to figure out itself.
Sir, what do humans have to do with the expansion and contraction of a universe that was doing so way before humans even existed?
Because we are part of the universe.
Sir, listen to what I'm saying. The humans that did not exist, right?
Yes.
Until couple of 100,000 years ago,
right?
Had nothing to do with the expansion of a universe that was here before humans existed.
Okay.
Right? If you believe that, who was expanding it before humans got here?
Plants, ants, whatever was here, whatever life form was here before.
Y'all are not serious. Y'all do not believe this. Y'all don't believe this. I am telling you, these people do not believe this shit. This is just something that they have twisted up in their minds so that they can make them feel good about possibly not fucking being here one day. This has nothing to do with anything.
But
you are sitting up here saying, stop talking. You are sitting up here talking about that humans were responsible for the expansion of something that existed millions of years before humans did. That's what you said. That is exactly what you said. Is that not what he said?
All I heard was llama, llama, red pajama. And then that nigga said...
That nigga said plants and ants, man.
That's not what I said. Y'all,
sir, that is exact, sir. Sir, don't do that. You literally say, sir, please.
We don't have to make y'all look stupid.
How can we make you look
that
stupid?
on your own?
This is the thing. Okay. How can I make you look stupid? If you had come up here,
what you're doing is you're saying stuff that I didn't say.
Sir, if you had come up, no, because people in the chat are saying that is exactly what you said.
If you didn't say
they didn't hear what I said.
That's crazy, sir. If you didn't come up here, right? He said it, and then when I questioned him, he changed it to ants and dinosaurs. If you had come up here with the cogent, stop talking over me. I am not your wife. If you had come up here, shut up, stop talking over me. The fuck is wrong with you? If you had come up, look, somebody else in the comments said you did say that dumbass shit, bro. If you had come up here with a cogent argument right, about your God, right, and proof that he is not real, which is the proof that he is real, which is the actual topic. If you had come up here with that evidence instead of saying what you said, then you wouldn't be worried about looking stupid. Because literally nobody can make me look stupid. It's impossible. Right? Yeah, drop. That's what you ought to do.
I was gonna ask because he said he falls into the gap thing.
Yeah, that's what he said. I mean, yeah. So it was like it's in your lap when they say that. I mean, at least he was able to understand that. But I was going to simply tell him that that gap is a gap of knowledge. It means you're ignorant about something.
Exactly. That's why I was headed. Like, why are you using God to plug that gap in? Because you just acknowledge that's what you're doing. But why? But then he started talking about hogs and frogs.
Plants. Then they say
Can't
plants
explain the
and
unknown.
ants, man.
Therefore,
Lord have
God.
mercy.
Hey yo,
what's up, Dugo?
Hey, Dugo.
All I'm gonna say is, after last week, justice for Dugald. I'm just saying.
Hashtag justice for Dugald.
Hashtag justice for Dugald, man.
Listen, then fucked around and had me. Listen, I added another layer last night. I'm sorry.
Unless he really thought you thought he said llama llama red pajama.
I don't know. That's what I heard.
Plants and ants.
Yeah,
man.
he definitely did say
Crazy.
plants and ants. Like, bro, if you can't even track a joke, I know you can't track the rest of the conversation. Don't worry about it. Y'all be crashing out.
First in line. How old are you?
Yes, Luke.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 25.
Sound
I'm
50.
25.
Do you believe in
Sound
God?
50?
Yeah.
Yes, I believe in God.
Okay. Which one?
I believe in Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. So would you call yourself a Christian or a follower of Jesus?
I would call myself, does it matter? A follower of Jesus is a Christian.
Hey, it don't matter to us, but sometimes they get up here and they get picky about the distinction between the two. So I'm just asking.
No, I am.
Your phone
I am a
ringing.
follower of Christ.
Okay, so
Yeah,
the God that you worship, it's made up. It's the God that you worship, it's made up. It's
us.
You know how you know it's made up? Because God don't even care enough about y'all to give y'all good equipment to all get in his name. He literally does not. Everybody that come up here sound like they under a blanket or on top of Everest, or they got
in Sheol.
Yes.
Cuddling with their God right now.
Like, bro, put some earphones in.
You could let me know if I'm being audible enough or not, okay?
No, you're not. Put some earphones in or take the phone off of whatever it's connected to. And then turn that other phone on silent because it's vibrating.
Okay.
You got too much going on. You got two phones, man. The other phone vibrating. You got to turn that off in the background.
Is it still doing that? Or
no, it's not. It's not doing
so now
that.
It's okay, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, yep.
Yeah, so go ahead. So I was telling you that the God of the Bible, it's made up. It's not real.
Okay. What do you mean by made up? Because as I was listening,
it's a created creature.
For example,
like for example, I have a God that I created named Ushmush. Ushmush is my God that I made up, and it's whenever Nicole, I don't know where she at, but I have to get her to. I have the picture she sent of Ushmush, but I don't have it on my phone, so I can't pull it up. But so my God's name is Ushmush, and I made it up. And so when I'm saying your God is made up, I'm saying your God is made up the same way my God Ushmush is made up, created from the minds of men.
It coming from the minds of men does not mean it's false, because almost every idea that we discuss came from the minds of men. Scientific ideas came from the minds of men. The thing that differentiates a real idea from a wrong one is evidence. Evidence is the only thing.
Right. I'm glad you agree.
Yes, so what evidence do you have that Yahweh is real?
So the evidence draws from the central claim of Christianity is the resurrection of Christ. And the logic is that if the resurrection of Christ is a true historical event.
No,
Okay,
you
hold
had the
on.
host talking. Wait.
Just because you skipped some steps. You skipped God and went to the resurrection. Yahweh is the God of the Bible. I'm asking you for evidence that Yahweh is real. Even if you believe Jesus was a real even if you believe Jesus was a real person, even if you believe he was crucified and all that other good jazz, the God is made up. The God who you believe sent him is not real. How about that? So I'm asking you for proof of Yahweh. Before you get to that Jesus Christ mumbo jumbo in the New Testament, how is the God of the Bible Yahweh real? What evidence do you have?
Okay. Could I just give it without interruption? Okay. So
go ahead. I'm gonna give you the floor. Go ahead.
Since you don't want to hear the resurrection side, let's now start from the claim that is made by the Bible about this Yahweh, because it's the Bible that follows him, and it's the one that makes the claims of interaction with him. It's not anywhere else. Okay. And the first verse of the Bible.
Slow down. You said you had evidence. The Bible is not evidence
that's
of
what I'm
Yahweh.
I'm
okay, so just we can skip that. We know all that because we do this. We know that. I want you to get to the part where you're telling me, hey, look, the evidence for Yahweh's existence is. Go ahead. I'm gonna give you the flow.
Okay. Okay. And why am I getting through this argument? It's because that claim means that when we look outside, when we look at the heavens and the earth, it is the connection that God created it. Now, the deeper question is, I mean, you can just say, even you can say the God that you drew in your book created the heavens and the earth. Eh? So what distinguishes the claim of Yahweh from your God that you drew in your book? That's what I want to establish.
Yes, the symmetry breaker. Go ahead and tell us. Go ahead.
Okay. So the first thing is if you design something, right? At least in my observation, I'm a software engineer. There is a great impact of your how can I call it? Of your intellect in what you design, and you can really tell the personality of somebody from the art that they give, from what they produce, from their creativity, even from the way I speak. It's unique to me. Okay, and so
what is the evidence of Yahweh?
If I can see traits. So that's what I'm getting to. If I can see traits in Yahweh's character, in the earth and the heavens, then I can make the connection. Probably the claim that he created the earth is solid. Why? Because his traits exist in the heavens and the earth. Do we agree with that?
No, because his traits were also made up by a man. No.
The thing is that
the traits you are looking for were also made up by a man.
Here's the thing. When you say that traits I'm looking for are made up by a man, which traits are you talking about? Since you know the traits that are made up by a man.
Sir, whatever traits that you state about this God, sir, listen, sir, whatever traits that you're talking about, you said if we see these traits, we can assume, right, that this God is real. Whatever traits that you're talking about were made up by a man. Whichever ones you name.
Not named any, so you've not been listening.
No, sir. I'm saying whichever one. I didn't say that you named any. I'm saying whichever ones you name from now on are made up.
Right.
But the thing is that you can't just say things are made up. What do you mean by made up, bro? Like everything is made up. I think. Are you the one who is
you're supposed to be giving us evidence, not the other way around.
Yeah, that's what. Can I get to that? But if I'm giving you the evidence, I've asked you my first premise and you're dismissing it. How do you?
You haven't asked us anything. Sir, we just said we disagree with that premise. And we told you why. Because any trait that you give for this God would be made up by man. We told you why we disagree with your
How
premise.
can you make that can be a disagreement to my premise if you've not even had the traits that I'm going to talk about? How do you decide that this is man?
Sir,
this is
but you already gave us the premise. Did you or did you not already give us the
Did I
premise?
give you the traits that you're arguing against?
Sir, did you give us the premise is what I'm asking.
I gave you the premise and you disagreed.
Okay, and we disagree with the premise.
I'm
And I
trying
told
to
you, and I told you why. Because any trait that you name for this God will have been made up
But
by
you not
me.
even have the traits.
It
What
doesn't matter. It's what I'm telling you. Anyone you name.
Then there is no point talking to you then. If you've not had my traits, how do you judge that they're
So then
man-made or
why
not?
did you give the premise without the traits?
But you've not even, I'm giving you the traits.
Sir, I'm asking you, why did you list the premise and say that's your premise without giving the traits?
I'm going to give you the traits, but I have to establish that because that's a tricky part to understand.
It's not tricky. What are the traits? Name one. Go ahead. The first one. Go.
Okay. The first one, that is loving. That love is
Again, a man made it up. Don't agree. Go ahead. What's the second one?
How did man make up love?
Where did you get that from? The Bible?
The Bible is established. That's what I'm telling you. That
Sir, I'm asked, stop doing that. Stop doing that. Where did you get that God was loving from? The Bible?
Of Yahweh written.
Because what?
Are they written in your book or in the Bible? I'm talking about the traits of Yahweh. Where are they written?
Sir, that's what I'm asking you, sir. Sir, where did you get that the God was loving? How did you come up with that?
By the biblical experience with that God.
Bitch.
So if I have an experience,
man, shut the fuck up.
That man said the biblical experience, man.
What the fuck does that even mean? The biblical experience.
Wait.
Lord,
First in line, don't come off mute again. Just wait a minute. Don't come off mute. Don't say shit. Just wait a minute. Now, I asked this motherfucker that whether or not loving was in the Bible. And shut up! See, listen, a black man, he gonna ruin everything.
Please,
I'm telling you. Man, shut the fuck up. I asked this motherfucker, I asked him, did this come from the Bible? He said no. Then, when he said where the trait comes from, he said it was biblical.
No.
Y'all don't hear how ridiculous y'all sound?
No, but the thing is, you talk so much, you don't even realize you said the same thing. You're so busy trying to talk, you don't even realize that you said the exact same thing that I said. Y'all literally just be saying shit. Y'all literally just talking. You talk so much, you don't even know that you just agree with what the fuck I said.
Okay,
so
I speak now.
Just hold up. Just give me a second. First in line, Mister. Did that say Mister?
Yes, sir.
Mister, how old are you?
I'm 53.
Do you believe in God?
Not at all. I am currently deconstructing. I just wanted to tell you guys that I really appreciate the channel. I appreciate you guys going at these how you fool you. Instead of saying hallelujah, I said how they fool you. It is the way you guys are just breaking them down. It makes no sense to be so. You gotta really be brainwashed in order not to listen to common sense. It's common sense. So what I came up here to ask is there anything that you can send me so I can read to continue my path? Because I don't want to call myself an atheist until I know more. I don't want to say I'm an atheist and somebody start coming at me. I'm deconstructing until I feel comfortable calling myself an atheist.
I mean, unless they're coming at you with evidence that this God exists, because they'll tell you that they'll say, well, the God did this for me and the God did that for me. They don't have no evidence for that either. right?
Well,
But Bar has a bunch of stuff he can give you, a bunch of stuff.
right. If you could send it to me, I would love to. On the plane, I would love to read it.
Send me send me a message, please.
I will definitely do that, man.
Because I was about to type a long list in the comments. I said I probably should do that.
A depiction when they say something to me like that, I say, how come if your God is all knowing, how come he asking where is Cain? I mean, where is Abel?
Listen, we had some.
Where is he?
I was in Mama Bash's live, another one of our community members this morning, and a guy in the chat said, God has given me all the strength to turn you around, but you have to help me help you. If God gave you all the strength, why do I need to help you do anything? He said, but you have to help me help you. Why, if you have the strength of God, should I have to help you with anything? Why can't you just do it?
Right? He ain't do it. Take your time. Take your time. Instead of he do it, won't he do it? He ain't do it. That's the way I go at it.
But Mister, send me a message on here. I'm gonna send you some, man. Look, it's a long, it's a affordable list. Just send me a message, please.
No worries. I'm ready to read, man, because the brainwashing is over.
Hell yeah,
it is over.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing.
100%. I appreciate you, man. And reading is fun when you start to do this. It gets way more cooler. The coolest shit in the world is to start reading about shit like this.
Were y'all in Mama Bash's live this morning?
I was in there, but I was just watching. I ain't saying nothing.
Did you see we went in on Lo Mein?
I don't think I did.
Listen, we were doing Lo Mein jokes, right? Like what do you call a Lo Mein? What do you call Lo Mein a god when he lies like Jesus? Lo Mein a fraud. What do you call Lo Mein? What do you call Lo Mein when he give everybody on the panel gifts? A po man. We had so much fun this morning, and the Christians was mad. The Christians was like, "Why y'all not talking about God anymore? Y'all stop talking about God to talk about this."
I heard what she said. Venus said, talking about what do you call Lo Mein on the escalator? She said down low. Oh my God, you don't leave that man alone.
Like, what do you call Lo Mein? What do you call Lo Mein in the salad? Romaine.
Whoa, man. Was he on the panel or he was just in the chat?
Hell, he came on a panel at first, and Venus started the shit, and then she let she let everybody that wanted to come up that had a joke say a joke about Romaine. About Lo Mein. Like I said, what do you call Lo Mein when he gardens like Fee does? Hydromaine. But this this what I don't understand. She said now they look stupid, so she's throwing out jokes because they're here for a fantasy.
Troll. They never come up.
Imagine using that picture for a troll, though. Imagine using this picture to be a troll.
That name, Sweet Candy 15. 16.
Yeah. Imagine using that picture, right? There's nothing that looks stupid because no Christian was able to. No, matter of fact, the past 3 Christians couldn't even explain their beliefs to other people. They couldn't even explain how they got to their beliefs to somebody. It's a good thing I don't believe in God, because if I were somebody that was looking for a reason to believe in God, these Christians, y'all doing y'all God a disservice, because y'all can't even convince another motherfucker why they should believe in God. And that's really what you're supposed to be doing. You can't even convince a bitch why they should. You don't even know anything about it.
Speaking of disservice, why y'all not tapping the screen?
She got grandkids.
People, I got
She got
grandkids, and they be
grandkids.
begging for snacks, and
She
y'all
got
got me at work.
grandkids.
Just
She got a
struggling.
2-year-old son and he got an 8-month-old nephew.
Exactly.
She got grandkids.
We out here struggling to survive, and y'all in here just getting free entertainment. That's crazy.
We out here hanging in the child line. Y'all playing.
They ain't trying to tap the screen too.
Pick it up. They done reopen. They done fix the glitch. You can tap in the big box. Tap the screen.
They must have got a lot of fucking complaints about that for them to fix
Sure
it.
did. They did.
Because it was crazy. Like, why would you leave? Why would you make us not be able to tap? And we're like, hey, we getting a lot of complaints.
Thank you for fixing it. But yeah, now that it's fixed, tap the screen.
So y'all gonna leave the gumball machine at Denny's alone. That's right up there with Five Below. Y'all gonna leave the gumball machine at Denny's alone. Ariel, y'all had me thinking last night when we were talking about Mount Everest.
Mm-hmm.
I found out that you can just go to base camp now. You don't have to climb up. I mean, it's still like 8 and it's still like 15,000 feet of sea level, but you ain't got to go all the way up there.
Is it still $100,000?
No, it's probably less because it's less time. And you basically still on the ground. You're not,
Yeah.
You can go and, just tour base camp. Like, oh, this is where the people stay before they go up to Everest.
Before they go die on the mountain.
and then come back down. But it still take like 8-9 days to do that.
Yeah, because I wasn't expecting that fucking 3 to 4 weeks. I didn't know it took that long.
Oh yeah, it take a long time. It take at least, you got to take off at least 2 months. Like from your job, you need at least 2 months because you got to go there. It might take a little longer because you got to get acclimated. If the wind's too high, you can't go up. You got to take at least, and then you got to come your fucking ass back down.
Aaron, please.
I'll just look at it in a picture. Like, no, thank you.
A padre just entered. Padre, guapo, why don't you come up and discuss with us? Seeing as, you're into theology and metaphysics. I saw you keep popping up on Dugard's panel, but you didn't even comment anything but stayed through the whole live. I would love to hear your point of view.
Dugard, I'm gonna make it my mission to fucking make this prompt and send it to you before I forget. Every time I say I'm gonna do it, I get off here and I just, oh look, a red shirt, and I just listen. Just please, I'm
You're like, look, sun's shining.
That makes you get this like eat like your boy on Family Guy. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
I just listen. I promise. I'm gonna make it my mission to do it, and I'm gonna send it to you. We got to do it at the same time. Like I'm gonna just try to remember to the best of my ability to just make it, and I'm gonna send it to you. And we just gonna do it. I promise.
All right, I'll hold you to it.
I done told him, Aaron, you better go get you some of that medical meth. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna help you. It's gonna help you real good.
Listen, don't listen. My baby fucking with that, and she like, Mama. Like what?
I'm gonna take it right now. Listen, I be having to break. I got the low dose. I be having to break that shit in half because I'll be over here fucking redoing the roof.
No, that motherfucker be like, I'm like, why is it 11 o'clock? This motherfucker in there wiping off the goddamn refrigerator and shit. Like, what are you doing? It's 11 o'clock at night. She's like, I don't know. I had to do something.
I ordered a fucking pack of like 72 of those little microfiber cloths. I was cleaning everything in this motherfucker.
Listen, I thought I was dreaming. You know how you sleeping and you hear noise? I thought it was a dream. I get up, I come in the kitchen. This motherfucker got the refrigerator pulled out in the back. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yep.
She said, well, I dropped some water and it went between the cabinet and the refrigerator, and I just figured I'll pull it. Girl, what?
Might as well clean the whole floor under that bitch. Somebody got to do it.
Well, why are you doing it at 11 o'clock at night is what I want to know. Why are you doing it at 11 o'clock at night? She was like, Mama, I don't know.
Why y'all think I've been on live so late every night? Gotta do something. I'll be over here building furniture and shit. 3 a.m.
Thank y'all for we hit the gift goal. So we hit the gift goal. So thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm trying to get to the C2s, man. Try to get, you know what I'm saying? Get up there where the grown folk be at, man. Yeah, if y'all could help me so I can talk down on Be Easy where he talk down on me. I dropped down to D1. That nigga like he ain't know me no more. He like, yeah, cause it's this. But I was mistreated when I dropped down to D League. I'm talking about mistreated, talk bad about, talking about my furniture dingy, it don't smell right in here. All that.
Y'all ain't finna target me next. I done hit C League. I ain't going back because y'all not finna talk about me.
I'll just stay in my D League, I guess. Suckers.
We gonna listen, Dugal. We gonna come over there and we gonna get you right, man. Cause that's where everybody should be at least C5. Cause we got to do a better job of supporting, man, these people that take it upon themselves and run these lives, y'all, for real. You know, I've been trying to do my due diligence of going in other people's lives and like sending my gifts and stuff like that. But you know, it take a village.
You still got no community gift?
Hold up. Cause I was thinking about that the other day. Cause I see everybody got one but me. And I don't know how to fucking.
I don't see it, but the only thing I can think is it might be an update that you ain't done.
Cause I checked and it said I had the latest update.
I don't even know how I got it. Annika pointed it out that night.
Everybody got one but me now. Everybody. I think except for me and Be Easy. Do Be Easy got one?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, That nigga, he almost got me this morning, but I hurried up, got off that shit though. That nigga was in that crystal. I said, he ain't gonna get me. I got up out of there. In that time out the historicity. I ain't finna sit here.
Everybody timeline.
Yeah. But it is good to sit in them just sometime and like let them, like yesterday I was on a live yesterday night and it's almost like they want us to come up. She came in here a minute
ago. I almost sent her a request, but I didn't. She came in here a second ago.
It's like, okay, y'all ask us why we left the religion. We tell you why. I mean, they just do this whole we weren't real Christians. How you lead a faith? Like what steered you away from God? And I'm like, not everybody has went through a traumatic experience to where that wasn't the case for everybody. Like people who believe this stuff 10, 20, 30, 40 plus years are now telling you they don't believe it anymore. You can't invalidate all those years by saying they wasn't a real Christian. That gotta suck. That suck. I'm telling you it suck, but to just oh no, you couldn't. Like I'm talking about we at church reading and worshiping and praising, and I'm asking, okay, so what is the difference between a person who has truly experienced God and the people who not real Christians? What's the difference? Well, God, you'll know when God revealed himself to you, ma'am.
You're just gaslighting.
Aaron said B is live right now.
Oh my God, that nigga, boy.
You know you gotta get the live for the fucking before game come on.
Is he really? Is he live right now?
That's what Aaron said.
Or is it just on a Christian live?
Because me and Sunday.
Is he
me and
live or
Bossy
he
do
talking to some Christian?
Right.
Yeah, you gotta ask now. He been going to cook. He been going to cook lately. I don't know what. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that nigga live or is he talking to some Christians?
No, he live. They're saying he's live.
It's his. Okay.
You can't because you supposed to be waiting on Bossy to get back.
Because I don't supposed to be live. I don't supposed to be live anyway. Because this ain't, Sunday I do the Black People Shouldn't Be Christian with Voss. See, Be Easy goes live in the morning on the weekend. So I wake up and it be Easy on. And so I asked him when he was in the other live, he said he was gonna go live. And I was like, well, I was waiting around for my little time block. I try to get in there right when he get off and do his little, and I was just like, well, shit, ain't nobody on. So I just said, fuck it.
Hey, Ariel, I just watched one where a nigga climbed 8,611 meters without oxygen. Listen, that's me. That's gonna be me one day. Y'all gonna see me on that bitch.
Crazy as fuck. What?
Somebody needs to go. Somebody needs to go ask Beezy, what's his goal? Like, what are you trying to do right now?
He live. You not usually live. That's what you said. You not usually live. He probably like.
But I'm saying I'm trying to see like what is his goal because I don't know how long he gonna be on. What he about to do?
Yeah, can somebody go ask him? Say we want to know how long he gonna be on, or it's just a filler until a game come on.
Right, because this episode 1 of this shit, this we done started a new series. I'm trying to see what he got.
Well, I can actually participate in, goddammit.
Right.
I had you in mind.
I'm tired of y'all excluding me from
I'm sorry. I had you. I definitely had you in mind. So I want to try to get my extended family on the panel.
There's no game until Monday, so he might be on all fucking day.
Oh damn!
Damn.
But if
Don't ask me. I don't know nothing about sports ball.
Because me and Petty not doing the thing today, so he could have waited till this one was over. He just jumping on doing shit.
I don't know nothing about sports ball, so I don't know who play who, when, where.
Text that nigga like, bro, what time you going live? Let me know.
Look, Aaron said he dancing with the baby. Ain't nobody up there.
I'll come back. I'll come back. I'll get off and I'll come back when whatever. I'll come back because I've been on. It's been for 3 hours. So, and plus Vossy was up here with me. So I'll get off and we'll see how it goes and then I'll come back. So okay. YouTube, this has been episode 1 of Your God Is Not Real. I hope y'all enjoy. I feel like y'all enjoyed it. It was way more people watching this. Y'all don't like the black people shouldn't be Christian. So, but I appreciate y'all. I hate I couldn't get you more involved in the conversation, Dugal. You weren't here, but I'll do this. I'll try to do this one again. Maybe tomorrow or something. I don't know.
Well, I appreciate you.
This is a good. It's a good. I'll like give you the rundown or whatever too. It's a cool little way I put it together. So